News every 20 minutes right here on 92.3 The Fan from the University Hospital Sports Desk. I'm Jeff Thomas. Up next time with the Ken Carman Show with Anthony Lima here on 92.3 The Fan.
Catch Afternoon Drive with Nick Wilson and Jonathan Peterlin live on YouTube each and every weekday from 2 to 7 p.m. The Ken Carman Show with Anthony Lima.
The Manager of the Year for 2025, Cleveland Guardians, Stephen Vogt. Congratulations, well done.
I feel super honored. The job that everyone did, and I know I played a part in it, but to overcome everything that we did to win the division, get to the playoffs, I couldn't be more proud of our players. You know, we had used a number of different players. Our staff was overworked, but it's a really cool honor for the entire organization and just a nod to the work that our team did. You know, obviously the things we went through off the field, the 10 games losing streak, the 1-9 stretch, being 15.5 back, and really we know we need to get better in a lot of areas. And I think a lot of people looked at our team and didn't count us in for very much. And so to see us win another division and overcome a lot of the things that we did, I think they noticed.
This is Cleveland Sports Radio, 92.3 The Fan.
Audio courtesy MLB Network. What's he mean by the off-field stuff? Like his closer allegedly being involved in cockfighting?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Is that Lil Jerry?
That's a new one. That was a new one. Yeah, according to the one guy says, it was cockfighting. I was like, what? It's like, well, you know, I don't know if it's illegal in the Dominican Republic. Is it illegal in the Dominican Republic?
Ooh, I don't know.
I think cockfighting is illegal in the state of Ohio. Is there a law in the books against cockfighting here?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Oh, yeah.
You
as long as it's not in the strike zone, I don't really care.
You can't have those two.
Yeah. I mean,
you can't have those two roosters pecking at each other now.
Do we still have greyhound races?
those
here,
buses don't do what they used to.
I thought it used to be I thought they're in Florida. Aren't greyhound races in Florida?
Whippets.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. All right. Congratulations to... We have a mic on. Congratulations to Stephen Vogt, who won Manager of the Year. I got to tell you, I was shocked. I go, really? Really? Against the two... that sounds like I was like, nah, I can't do. I was just surprised to go over the two guys that were in the ALCS.
Who were the other guys?
Seattle's manager, Dan Wilson, and John Schneider, the manager of the Toronto Blue Jays. They were in the in the ALCS, right?
Clearly, what's working towards
yes.
What's working in the favor of Stephen Vogt or any Guardians manager is the degree of difficulty.
Well, that's unbelievable to me. And he wins it 2 years in a row, and the Kevin Stefanski stuff started. Which there is a weird... Have you found the weird contingent of the internet? The internet's an incredible place right now, and it's usually an incredible place, but this time of year, it's outstanding. There is a contingent of Stefanski defenders who are going to go, you guys want him fired too? I go, what? Oh, no. I go, didn't want Terry Francona fired? Oh, you're making a Stefanski comparison. That's something. Okay.
Well, we've had an unbelievable... I wonder if any city can compete with the run that we have had for Coach of the Year / Manager of the Year.
Well, we've had two Manager of the Year for when did Francona last win it?
22.
Yeah.
Holy Toledo.
Coach of the Year in 2020 Stefanski, 22 Francona, 23 Stefanski, 24 Vogt, 25 Atkinson, 26 Vogt.
Well, we have some of the best leadership that you could find.
Is this the sixth Manager of the Year the Guardians / Indians have had since 2007?
Should we have parades for Manager of the Year and should somebody get their son and go, man, this kid has never seen a year where one of the managers or head coaches hasn't been named head coach or Manager of the Year?
You've always had at least one.
Like they do in Boston, or they did in Boston. It's been, the Celtics won a couple years ago. But should we do something like that? Were you surprised at all? I'm sure you were surprised it was even announced.
I was surprised it was even happening because I did not know it was even happening.
You're going to have that.
Baseball, this is kind of happening too in basketball outside of MVP, but in baseball, it is so out of sight, out of mind. The Silver Slugger Awards, I thought they had a half-hour special to unveil all these awards, and we're still unveiling awards?
I think it was it a special tonight? Was tonight a special? I thought tonight was a special.
Tonight hasn't happened.
Oh, excuse me. You know what I mean.
You mean where they'll list off all the things we already know?
Yeah. And also, I said this last week, and some tradition the gatekeepers of baseball, they went after me because I tweeted. I said, it's kind of funny to me that we still have an American League Award and a National League Award.
You don't like that.
Well, it's just seems bizarre now to me. You're winning. It's like hey, here's your award for 15 teams, and they have their award for 15 teams when, they all play each other.
But they have it in the other ones too.
Why don't we just have one? We don't really. Who was last year's Eastern Conference MVP?
I don't know. They have an NBA. They have an MV. They have an NBA. Blah, blah, blah. They have an NBA MVP,
and you have a Coach of the Year.
And you have you have a Coach of the Year,
where you defeated 29 other coaches. This one, you defeated 14 other coaches.
That's still a nice amount of people to defeat.
Not as many as 29.
It's still a nice accomplishment.
I'd say 29 is greater than 15.
Okay, well, who was the guy who won on the other? Was the Brewers manager who won on the other side? All right, who's the better manager? Stephen Vogt or the Brewers manager? That I can't think of off the top of my head.
Should be a showcase showdown.
Pat Murphy.
Bring them together at the end of the show.
Not Dale.
Stephen Vogt or not Dale, Pat Murphy. I think I'm just going to say Stephen Vogt. Why? Because I'm in Cleveland.
All right.
What is Dan Mennigan going to say today at 2:00? He's from Milwaukee. Find out.
It'd be a spirited
He's a house
debate.
Divided.
I'm telling you, I'm not going to go up against Dan when it comes to figuring out who's the manager of the year. That boy will embarrass me. He knows his baseball, and he knows his Milwaukee Brewers baseball, my friends.
So the question is Dolan, is Paul Dolan, is he building an unfair advantage for when it comes to this award?
Explain.
Well, it just seems like we have all the advantages. We get a chance to win it. It's just not fair to the managers of the big spending teams.
So why? Well, there you go. Why do you win it? Because you do it in the face of what was Milwaukee's payroll, by the way? Are we trying to send messages here? Like, are we winning it in the face of payroll adversity? Is that what it is?
That's why you're winning it.
Okay, so that's why you're winning it. Okay, so that is the theory. You just win it because you have the most success with the lowest payroll.
And they came from 15.5 down. On,
I would hope so, but
July 8th.
I don't think Milwaukee wasn't spending. I thought that they were spending a decent amount of money. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Brewers weren't spending that much money. But I think that if that's the case, then is this who votes on it? The media, the writers. BWAA, Baseball Writers
BBW.
Association of America. Okay. I would imagine. Not what you're Googling over there. Come on, it's 6:09 in the morning. Are they sending a message that we need to spend more money? Not we, but the Guardians.
By awarding the manager of the year.
Are they trying?
They're just voting for the guy that they feel like.
He's
put
saying,
it this way.
He's saying that they're doing it in the face of adversity.
Well, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Have you looked up the Big Ten football coach of the year?
It's never Ohio State.
It's never going to be Ohio State. They'll never win that award.
Yeah, but anybody I
think the 15.5 had a lot to do with it this year.
I would assume, but I really did. I thought it was just going to be it's hard to win it 2 times in a row, and the 15.5 is a hell of a comeback. But
I think this is also in the back of the minds of voters for awards like this. It's a consolation prize. It's even though it's happening before the playoffs, they all vote on this before the playoffs. I think everybody knows, hey, what a miraculous come from behind season for the Guardians, who have zero chance to win the World Series. So look at what they're able to do despite all their limitations. That guy must be a great manager.
Joe told me that dog racing was banned in Florida in 2020 is what he said.
It's in so many movies. That's the thing. That it's like so many, all of a sudden.
Not in recent movies, it's banned.
All the main characters of a movie are somehow at a greyhound race, which I've never met somebody who's actually attended one outside of probably Zach Jackson.
That's where you do.
Zach's been to a greyhound.
Stevie, thanks.
Zach's been Greyhound race. Yeah, Zach's been to the Greyhound races for sure. He's looked at them dogs and their haunches and all that stuff and inspected. Yeah. Zach's a greasy individual. Well, congratulations to Stephen Vogt. But again, answer the question. Is this a signal?
No, we already answered it. It's not a signal. It's they feel bad for the Guardians because they spend no money. They have all these limitations.
But if they feel bad for them, is that not a signal to spend more money?
I don't think the average writer cares in another city if the Guardians spend money. No.
I think they do. Do you care if they don't spend money in Pittsburgh?
No.
Why not?
It's not. We got our own problems to deal with.
Okay, but I understand that. But the conversation always turns to the point where you get annoyed by it. Mm-hmm. The conversation always turns to the problems with baseball, the haves and the have-nots. Is that or is that not? What is the Brewers' expenditures, by the way? What is their payroll, for the love of God? Did he have it here? Brewers, 137. You could have just said it into the microphone,
that's total,
Mitch.
right? So that's total payroll. That puts them at 18th.
Okay, so Mitch.
Active 26-man.
There you go.
They are 17th.
They are 17th. All right, that's a little bit better. 137 according to Spot Track for the Brewers, 100 for the Guardians in 2025. So is that maybe that's what they're saying? So you don't think that they need to spend more money because of the manager of the year? I mean, they're kind of saying like, well, are you or are you not wasting his talents?
I am obsessed with your infatuation over whether you think an award at the end of the year.
I'm obsessed with your infatuation to save Paul Dolan money.
Is a signal for teams to spend money. I don't think one thing has anything to do with the other.
You didn't draw any conclusion. Wait a minute.
No,
you're telling me your head was so far
already. No, I don't.
Okay, you're telling everybody your head was so far in the sand that you don't see. Guardians fans, the first thing I saw, very first thing I saw about Stephen Vogt was about spending money.
Yes,
about spending money on the team.
We're Guardians fans. That's the first thing they're going to say every day.
Okay,
Monday
then
through Friday.
Then why is your head in the
also
sand?
Also Saturday, also Sunday, also Veterans Day, also Christmas, also Flag Day. Columbus Day certainly is a day they want them to spend money. Every single day, Guardians fans want them to spend money. So that shouldn't be a big shock to you that is something that people say.
All right. So, I mean, you can be as sarcastic as you want.
I don't think I could be more sarcastic.
So, I just love how there's no point in mentioning it because they won't spend money, so there's no point in talking about it. Okay, give them every excuse in the world.
Your conclusion
is apparently to never talk about them spending money because they're never going to spend money. So, what's the point of talking about it?
Your conclusion was somehow that when the ballots go out to everybody and all the writers across the country, they get the ballot. All right, let me see here. Who are the names here? Let me put on my...
put on a performance.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to vote for... Who's the Guardians manager? They need to spend more money. Vote for him.
But that was you. You just said that.
Nobody thinks that.
You said that they take... You said it was a consolation prize. Those your words. They're not going to be taken seriously.
Nobody
they don't
thinks
spend
they're
a lot on payroll.
But it has nothing to do with them telling
Here's
them
the consolation
to spend more money.
prize. It's not that. It's a signal. Is it not? Is it not?
A signal.
Is it not some sort of a silent signal to tell them, like, hey, this draws more attention? The conversation is about spending money.
They're baseball writers. They can just write more articles.
Whatever you need to do to cover for Daddy Paul. Whatever you need to do to cover for Daddy Paul.
I'm explaining.
You're not doing a good job of it.
They can just write the articles that the Guardians should spend more money. They don't have to do some weird protest with a vote for Stephen Vogt.
I need to go get my fox puppet and just go, Daddy Paul, Daddy, what would you like me to say? Oh, okay. All right. I will just try to make Ken look like an idiot, even though I just said what Ken said about spending money. Okay. There you go.
I'll counterpoint with maybe trying to get them to spend more money. They shouldn't award them manager of the year.
Right.
Because if they're
don't give them credit.
He just goes, why do we need to spend money?
Yeah, we get manager of the year every year.
Whatever it is to cover for Daddy Paul. Kevin in Cleveland, hello.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hi.
I think Anthony is a sleeper agent for Paul Dolan. It really sounds like he's trying to save Paul Dolan some money.
Yeah, thank
Anthony, do you and Paul Dolan share pockets? Be honest.
I don't understand the correlation to anything any of you guys are saying
share
today.
Pockets.
I am miffed right now.
Deflect
and move on. I am genuinely miffed. Is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame vote that producers need to be spending more money on the mixing of their albums? Is that what it is?
It's not. No.
What are you guys talking about?
Talking about the Baseball Hall of Fame.
What are you guys talking about?
We're talking about baseball awards, not the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Kevin,
Stay on
I made it abundantly clear, and I think Ken just didn't get the earwax out this morning, unfortunately, at 4 in the morning. I think I made it abundantly clear. Okay. Yes, these are consolation prizes, just like in the Big Ten. The award almost never. I did see Ryan Day shared one with PJ Fleck back in the day. But Ryan Day, Jim Tressel, Urban Meyer, they don't win because everyone's like, you guys all have the advantage. So they give it to these other coaches. It's not some sort of signal to the rest of the Big Ten that they all need to throw all their funding in for better players. What the hell are you guys talking about? Nobody takes these votes that seriously.
I'm with Ken. I think it's you got to spend money. You got to.
Yes, everybody agrees with that. It has nothing to do with the vote for manager of the year.
Yes, it does. You're Sleeper
Oh,
agent for Paul.
Okay.
Kevin, thank you.
Let's call the
Thank
voters
you.
up.
There's plenty of
Let's
people on the
call-
internet who agree with me, but
Let's
thank you very much, Kevin.
There's plenty of idiots that agree with you.
That's not. Well,
Yes.
I'm sorry that
Yes.
you can't. I mean, you can call everybody idiots and resort to
The
name
vote.
calling.
I want you to think about what you're saying. You've
Okay.
got time here during the commercial break.
No,
I want
I
you
don't
to
need to.
reevaluate
I don't
that
need to.
you think Ken Carman thinks the vote of the year, the manager of the year vote, has anything to do with writers across America wanting the Guardians to spend more money. I don't think they care.
Okay.
I don't think they care.
Okay.
Just like I don't care if Pittsburgh spends money. I'd like our team to spend money. It has nothing to do with other teams.
Finally, you admitted it. Only took you 16 minutes.
I've said that for. I think I wanted the Dolans to sell 14 years ago when we started the radio show. I would love to go play that audio and see where Ken Carman was on that side of the debate.
What, I didn't want him to spend more money on the team?
Back then, you weren't as go-getter after any of the owners in town.
Wait. I didn't want them to spend more money on the team.
When we started,
so now you're just making up things off the top of your head.
When we started this show, I'm pretty sure when you were pitting the fans against me every day,
Why was I
in and
pitting-
out, because you were a man of the people.
I'm not
and you
pitting
were-
the fans against. I never pitted the fans against you. You pitted the fans against you.
I'm pretty sure I came on countless times and said, I wish we would sell the team. I'm not interested in baseball as long as they own the team way back when.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I said that. It was on record many years.
Okay,
we weren't on
but
YouTube.
I
and
didn't sit
we
there
didn't
and
get to
cover
do a
for Paul
performance or put any kind of makeup on our face so that we go viral. I'm pretty sure that wasn't the case 14 years ago. So if
I did
anybody,
a Halloween costume.
If anybody has any evidence of that,
I did a Halloween
pull it forward.
costume.
Ken has definitely removed that to the recesses
You
of
wanted
his
me
mind.
to do the Halloween
I
costume.
don't. When Ken said the Browns weren't tanking when they were 0-16 and 1-15 because he wanted to curry favor with the fans. I don't want Browns fans to be.
It's one of the most.
I don't want the Browns fans to be mad at me in this day and age.
Unpopular opinions I've ever had. Are you crazy?
He's still
Wait a minute. The fans agreed with me when I said they weren't tanking.
I think Ken has very, very conveniently eliminated all of that from his memory banks.
I think you're very, very,
when he's
very
done his pivot
conveniently
over the years.
changing history.
You know, once
it's
once
not
the
true
cameras
whatsoever.
filmed everything we did, now we have evidence of every show that we've ever done.
Filled everything. You wanted me to wear clown makeup on that Friday. You wanted me to wear a Halloween costume next year.
Do we have the archive saved for way back when? Well, that was 8 producers ago. We probably don't.
I just love
Ken throws staplers at them all, then they run for the hills.
It's amazing he's gone scorched earth on me of all people. It's okay. I didn't throw staplers at anybody. I didn't throw staplers at anyone.
Your accuracy was that of Dylan Gabriel.
I never threw a stapler at anybody. I never have thrown a stapler at any person. Trust me, the stapler, when I threw it in the trash can, was moving at a lot faster clip than the hot air balloon ball that he did score a touchdown with Jerry Jeudy with. This is asinine.
I agree.
Oh, stop it. I hate you. God, I hate you. All right. Every morning, it's exasperation. Coming up next. Oh, no, I don't want to say. Albert Breer said some bad news yesterday for a lot of folks. You think you hated what we had to say here? Wait until you hear what Albert said last night on The Fan.
92.3 The Fan, 2020 Sports.
got twang. When you want the latest on the Browns, we're the station you turn to first. 92.3 The Fan is Cleveland's home for breaking sports news. Your teams, your station.
It was really cool to win this, noticing that people around the country saw what we did and really appreciated it. And so I feel very honored about that.
They looked at it and they said, gosh, you're doing so much with so little. We got to give you this award again. But somehow, no, it doesn't mean that the Guardians need to spend more money. I don't understand that. He just said it. He just said it.
I don't understand how you don't
Manager of the year
understand.
2 times over just told you.
We're talking about two different things. You said the writers voted for it. For that to happen. That's not what we're talking about.
That's what he basically says. You guys are doing so much with so little. Yes. God.
Oh, my God.
What? You don't get it.
I don't, apparently.
Okay. All right.
But anyway, it has become something of an advantage. For one, we finally have the one advantage that Dolan has built here in Cleveland with his spending, which is we have the cheat code to winning Manager of the Year. This is 6 times since 2007. Because Wedge won it.
Think at this point,
Francona won it 3 times, and now twice for Vogt.
It almost feels like at this point the fans take it as a slight.
Yeah, I can see that.
Maybe it's to troll the fans. 216-474-0092. Let me get to Scott in Akron here. Scott agrees with me. Hello.
Oh man, you're not gonna like this one. So I don't know, man. I just cannot see how the MLB is secretly strong-arming the Indians into spending the Guardians, into spending more money by giving them this award.
No, that's not it. That's not what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, so you're saying though that the reason they got this award is kind of like, hey, we're going to give this to you, but spend some more money. So do you think that he did not genuinely earn this award this season, or is
you earned the award, but it would. So if they didn't why would they give him the award 2 years in a row?
So
because he did more with less, right? He did more with less.
I don't know if this will answer that exact question for you, but we were down to 15.5 games, which you guys brought up. We couldn't hit, we couldn't score, we had a negative run differential.
We field.
Literally had one of the best pitchers in baseball, the other one arguably a solid pitcher in Ortiz. Both of them gone to gambling. We literally traded away.
Hey, would we need if we paid a living wage to these players? Would they have to maybe resort with allegedly consorting with known gamblers?
I mean, to be fair, they're really, really not that smart for throwing away all that money over $12,000. So I don't really have a good answer for that question.
Man, you don't know what forces people to do things.
No, I think too. To be fair with this, I think there's a lot more to this situation too. I don't think. I mean, I could be dumb. There's some pretty not intelligent people in this world. But why are you going to throw away your career?
Well, Scott, I mean, cockfighting was mentioned yesterday in all of this. Who knows what twist and turn we're going to take by the end of the week?
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know. I can see where you're coming from. Like the Guardians, I feel like we've always been this bottom, middle of the road team, doesn't spend money, but for some reason we show up every time. Every time they're out there, we show up, we pack up that stadium. So I do believe he is deserving of this award. I don't think it is a, kind of like, hey, we need you to spend more money. Then MLB makes so much money in all them big market teams, and I don't know. I believe he did deserve the award. I'm trying to see where your reasoning as to why he got that
But it's not
award.
Major League Baseball. It's not. You see, this is my issue with this guy, and thank you very much for the call. It's not Major League Baseball that gives him the award. It's the writers, correct? The writers vote on the award. So the writers you have writers all over the place, and that's one of the main things they all talk about is what money their teams don't spend. You have a manager who every year, or you have an organization that every year does well, to the point where, again, follow the breadcrumbs on this, Tone. I mean, I'm not trying to be the Bilderberg group over here, but you follow the breadcrumbs on this. You've had other guys who have complained about the Guardians' success, players complaining about the Guardians' success with the lack of spending. I think that the guys in the Players Union would love nothing more than the Guardians turn in 60-win seasons, so it would prove that, hey, you got to spend money to go out there and win. because the Guardians seem to be the gold standard.
No, the Rays
for
too.
all these, for all these other organizations.
It almost hurts the case.
That don't want to spend money and end up going, well, I mean, you look at the Guardians, we just got to find better people in our front office and do all those other things instead of spending with. So it would go to say that, again, when you call it a consolation prize, you're saying it's like, hey, you guys really don't have a chance, and you're never going to have a chance because you don't spend that type of money unless you get lucky. So we'll give you this. And to the point where fans, I mean, I saw a lot of cynicism last night.
I believe it. I totally believe it.
With the award that was given.
Well, and we've won so many of them, and none of these. Normally, like back in the day, you'd win something like this. You'd be like, "Oh, your trajectory is on in an upwards arrow." So we're going to build on this, and we're going to do more, and we're going to have a chance to win it all. It almost is funny to me. Like, you imagine if they did this like the Emmys. You and our friend in Pittsburgh have debated Emmys, right, on awards and. Andrew Filipponi. We doing Around the AFC North today, by the way?
Yeah,
I think
we're doing it with Chris Muller today.
What are you doing an Emmy for?
Sports?
I
did.
Can you imagine if they did that
many of them?
But just like the Emmys, they do small market, mid market, big market. If they did that in baseball, here is your small market MVP. That award ceremony was earlier today at the Grand Hilton Ballroom.
Wait a
minute.
imagine
if they did something like that?
You trying to say Miami's small potatoes?
No,
is that what you're trying to say? My three, one for each of my beautiful sons, is our small potatoes.
My TV stations couldn't afford the nominations. They said I had to pony up if I wanted a chance.
you're saying mine were bought.
You do have to. There's a considerable cost involved with getting a chance to win these things.
No, I didn't. I have no idea.
Wow, they covered you.
They looked at me and they said, "Look at this fat guy. Let's give him that one." And okay, that's what they did.
So
I'll
now
take
you're
their
saying they awarded on most pounds.
Yeah,
different weight classes,
pound for pound. Pound for pound.
You're the heavyweight champion of sports in Cleveland.
Yeah. There's nobody else that has as many tons of fun in Cleveland sports as I do, at least on television. Evan and Lyndhurst, hello.
Hello. I was listening to you guys this morning. I'm pretty sure that was Anthony's point. He was getting an award because the Dolans don't spend any money. Now,
exactly.
Might that be, I think the word you're looking for is virtue signaling, where
yes.
They aren't explicitly stating that, hey, Dolan, spend more money. Like, they aren't explicitly stating for the Pirates to spend more money. But, if the Pirates had come back 15.5, they definitely would have got it.
Yeah.
Or last year or so on. And so, I just wanted to say that because, Ken, you were totally right. And he was agreeing with you for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Evan. See, that's how that works. I know I know your games. I know your slipperiness. I know what you're up to. Joe in Streetsboro, final one. Hello.
Hey, guys. I kind of agree with Lima here this morning.
Oh, come on.
Jeez.
Now, I feel like you kind of contradicted yourself there a little bit, Ken, with your original message. I don't necessarily feel like the baseball owners are giving this award to vote as a plea to, spend more money. It's based on on-field performance, and you said that yourself there. I mean, we have less resources than the Yankees or, whoever these big market teams are. The voters are given the award to vote based off of, what he's working with. Mm-hmm. They're not pleading and begging with the Guardians to spend more money. They're giving it to him based off the resources that we have on the field.
Well, hey, you're not wrong, and that's the entire argument I'm trying to make on that situation, because I think it is. It's like, hey, man, you got a two-time manager of the year. You bring up Francona, won in 2022. It's like, if you gave a little bit more, if you put out a little bit more, maybe you guys would actually break the streak and win a World Series that people could be really excited about. I mean, these are nice. It's great that you have a good manager, but that's really nothing that you could brag about where everybody else gets to have their parade. You can't have a parade over a manager. But really, in the same token, Joe, I mean, you're saying it. I mean, look, Kevin Stefanski won Coach of the Year twice. Why did he win Coach of the Year twice? Wasn't just that he went to the playoffs. I mean, there's teams that go to the playoffs every year. It's that the writers who vote for goes, man, he's the head coach of the Browns, and they went to the playoffs. I mean, in so many ways, it is tongue-in-cheek by some of the writers.
Yeah. I mean, I get that to a degree. I think
the point I'm
making. Yeah, and I agree with that. I just felt like the original direction that this was just more or less a message to Cleveland to spend more money was kind of wonky there.
Okay, that's fair. And you know what? I'm not going to be mean because you're my neighbor in Streetsboro, and I don't want to run into a giant eagle and be accosted.
By the way, how many Coach of the Years has Andy Reid won since he's been in Kansas City?
Maybe one.
Oh, he's probably won one.
0.
No.
He won 1 in Philadelphia in 2002.
When did he take over in Philadelphia?
Sucks.
Do you know?
What year was that?
What year? It was probably
That
like
was
2013.
2013.
No. When did he take over in Philadelphia?
99.
Okay, so there you go.
He was the 2018 Sporting News Coach of the Year.
Ooh, the vaunted Sport. What about Sport Magazine?
That's
the
where
one
it's
you
at.
want.
That's where it's
Always
at.
been a Street Smiths guy myself.
Yeah. Are you ready to get into something really fun?
Yeah, Kenny.
Okay. Albert Breer, you think what we just talked about was a little bit concerning? Wait until you hear what Albert Breer told the guys in the afternoon yesterday about who might be playing the very most important position here in Northeast Ohio. Ken Carman, Anthony Lima. Take us with you to work on the free Odyssey app.
It's Anthony Lima for Floors with a Z right now. Perfect time to upgrade your home with.
sports deep into the Cleveland night. Overtime with Jake Volnick. Weeknights at 7. Sports Radio 92.3 The Fan.
We go around it. Stop. Your mic is on. We go around the AFC North coming up at 8 o'clock. Also, 2-second trivia. Your chance to eat some free Mr. Hero at 7:45. I should have been saying that before, but I lost track because we got in a big argument over Stephen Vogt.
In which the caller said we were basically agreeing.
Yeah, we did. We did agree.
So
you agreed with me. I was right. You were wrong. That's how this works.
Okay.
Boom. Boom. Shakalaka. 2-second trivia at 7:45. Your chance to eat free Mr. Hero, but you have to answer 2 questions within 2 seconds each. We've already dropped one little hint in there. That's why you have to listen to every show. You guys want to eat some free Mr. Hero. The 4-pack of combo meals from Mr. Hero. You got to listen to the shows, man. You got to listen for all 4 hours. Whether you like to or not, doesn't matter. All right, you guys want to hear something concerning? Here's something concerning. It's Albert Breer yesterday on Afternoon Drive.
I think they would. Tough question. Deshaun, I think. Because here's the thing, like, the players know who the best players are. The players know who's going to give them the best shot to win. With Deshaun's experience and everything else, if he is truly healthy, right, like, and he is ready to go, I have a hard time seeing a scenario where he wouldn't get out there to practice and it wouldn't become, like, relatively obvious to the players there that, oh, well, this guy gives us a better shot to win. I don't think it's the wrong thing for the organization either, based on the amount of time and money and effort you've put into making Deshaun Watson your quarterback. And, like, look, if you're on the hook for the money next year anyway, it might be good to at least get a look at where he's at.
Don't do this. Don't put Deshaun Watson out there before Shedeur Sanders. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do it. What, you want him to do it?
How do you think the fans would respond to that,
Don't
Kenny?
do it. I don't think they'd respond very well at all.
All right, so a couple things.
I don't think it would go very. I think it would go very, very, very poorly.
And you got 5 home games left.
You put him out there before Shedeur Sanders, and you have a backloaded home schedule. You have plenty of times to be home. Don't. You are 2-7. I know they're supposed to try to win. I know you can't do it, man. You can't do it. It's a bad vibe. What? You know it's a bad vibe. Don't tell me what.
Oh, no, I just thought there was no way that when they started with the 4-quarterback race, I thought there's no that prevented any chance of there being a Deshaun Watson game.
How many of those guys are going to be left here?
And yet here we are, and it does not sound like a crazy thing as we sit here right now.
His practice windows could be open next week. Seems that the Browns are going to make that decision next week on Deshaun Watson. When you make that decision, you got a 21-day window, right? So I don't know how much longer Dylan Gabriel's going to play. I thought it could end against the Jets. I think it could end this week against the Ravens.
Could it be after the first half this week?
I don't know, man. I have no idea. But it's like if you had a choice between the two, you got to play Shedeur. You got to play Shedeur. This charade needs to stop. Now, I understand that there are rights to work and things like that, and you could just sit there and say it's undeniable. Now, if they both were to practice at the same time, one guy at one point played at a very high level in this league. That was then. Guys, that was 5 years ago.
And 3 injuries ago.
And when I said it yesterday, there were plenty of people go, oh, come on. I go, you guys are doing the same thing you did in 2022. I said yesterday, when you asked me the question, I go, I don't think he is emotionally ready to play. He wasn't last time. He wasn't last year, and he wasn't the year before. What's to say he's going to be emotionally ready now? He wasn't ready. There is, whatever it might be, an emotional block, whatever it might be with the offense, whatever it may be. He wasn't ready to do it. And I had people, oh, come on, that's ridiculous. No, it's not. Watch the Browns over the last 3 years and then come back to me. The last time he was ready to go and everything was there was 2020. That was 5 years ago.
I did not, the guy that I wanted the Browns to get, I did not recognize the guy we got. They were two totally different players.
So if you want to try it, you go ahead and knock yourself out.
That was before the injuries, by the way.
When they boo you out at home, and it probably still doesn't go any better, or if it goes maybe marginally better than it's already gone, then fine. The only thing maybe you'd be doing if you wanted to do big brain stuff, like I don't understand the win regardless. If you win a couple of more games, great. But I'll never root for losing. But the people who want them to have the highest draft pick at all, the only thing that's going to do is put the boots to you for a higher draft pick to replace this guy because he's not your future.
So Mary Kay wrote, this was yesterday, Deshaun Watson continues to make excellent progress in his comeback from the ruptured Achilles.
And I told you I saw him with my very own eyes running like the wind.
And added this from Bill Musgrave, because he was talking about all the different things that he had been doing, that it seemed like there was nothing materially holding him back. Says I see him in the weight room all the time doing the box jumps and doing all the exercises, things that they put players through before the Achilles, and then throwing passes. I know at times when we're meeting or when we're doing other stuff in the afternoon, he seems like he's working like crazy.
He is working. There's no doubt he's working out. Like everybody knows that. No, he's not just sitting around. He is working out. Here's Mary Kay yesterday on Baskin and Phelps about it, on if Deshaun could play this year.
I think that is all predicated on how he looks in those practices. But I think there is some sentiment. I think there is some curiosity, perhaps, to see what he can do and what he does have left in the tank. And I'll tell you, I mean, even Bill Musgrave told us this, that he's just working out feverishly, doing box jumping and all kinds of things behind the scenes. And he seems to believe that he's got plenty left in the tank. And who knows what he has left after a fractured shoulder surgery and 2 Achilles surgeries. It's hard to come back from those things, but he certainly apparently looks really good in his workout.
There's plenty of guys that look good working out. He looked good working out before. You mentioned it. You know, he walks out on the field. He has a physical prowess, but it doesn't mean it's going to be even better, any better.
So we're looking at it
all
from
you're really doing. You're not. Just let me say this: you're not a good football team, and all you're really doing. You're. I don't know how much of a better chance it gives you to win.
And you think you're
I don't know
spitting on the fans.
how advantageous it would be, and all you're going to do is just upset your fan base at home.
So we're looking at it from the perspective of Deshaun Watson. Let's look at it from the perspective of Shedeur. Everything I have heard from Breer, he has even used the term like he's a developmental pick. When you take guys in the 5th round, they're developmental. I know Shedeur fans have thought that Jaden Daniels could step in day one. Breer, and he's not the only one, like guys that are as close as the Browns will let anybody be to the building and to any of their information flow, have all kind of made it seem like they won't use the term, but I'll use it for them, because when they're saying developmental quarterback, they are calling Shedeur a project. That is what they are calling him. That's how they are operating. That's how they are treating him. And I just wonder if they could have been better off. And Zach Jackson has made this point on his podcast, and we'll have him on, coming up at some point, that the Browns have really failed in their messaging. They could have made life a little easier on themselves had they been honest, had they been forthright since moment one about Shedeur, which they haven't been. They should have just said, what their expectations were.
I don't think they would have got anything out of it. I respect Zach's opinion, and I do respect yours as much as I don't want to.
There are people that thought there was a quarterback competition that he was involved in. That's not true. There was never a quarterback. Yeah, the competition was to see who's the 3rd and who's the 4th string. So you don't think they could have managed that a little bit better with the way they talked about these things? I think they could have done a lot better job.
Yes.
Because instead there's been this feeding frenzy of delusional fans that thought that Shedeur could play right away. And by every mannerism of the Browns, by every way that they have conducted all of this from day one, they're treating him like a total project.
Would you be open,
not somebody who's ready to play football this year?
Would you be open to, because again, the 21-day window opens and there's another 3 weeks. I don't understand how we would get to Deshaun Watson before we would get to Shedeur Sanders.
If they don't think he's ready to play football. That's how that would be.
216-474-0092. Are you even open to Deshaun playing this year? And what if somehow he did play before Shedeur Sanders? Because the way that game went on Sunday against the Jets, I can't imagine it's going to go better against the Ravens. Now, the Ravens' defense isn't overwhelmingly what we know the Ravens' defense to be historically here, but I can't imagine it's going to go much better. And we're going to go another 3 weeks after that? before we get to this. No. That you can't do that. 216-474-0092. Ken Carman, Anthony Lima. Take us with you to work on the free Odyssey app. Remember, 745, your chance to win 2-second trivia. Your chance to eat free Mr. Hero on the Fan. Northeast Factory Direct. Your
this Titans game, I can't say the Browns are going to win this. Like, there's not a pregame show I can do where I will say the Browns are going to win this year. After that performance yesterday, like, the burden of proof is on them to show me that they're doing anything but trying to lose these games at this point.
Yeah, and the problem is, like, at some point, you're 2-7. At some point, you just are who you are.
The Afternoon Drive. Weekdays starting at 2. We are Sports Radio 92.3 The Fan.
Albert Breer was on Afternoon Drive yesterday, and I want to play that clip for you here in just a second because it's probably not going to be too comforting for you. 2-second trivia coming up at 7:45. Albert said a lot of things that weren't very comforting. Your chance to win free Mr. Hero coming up at 7:45, but you have to answer 2 questions within 2 seconds each.
That's comforting.
It is not comforting.
No, Mr. Hero is.
Oh, Mr. Hero is comforting, yes. Mr. Hero, it is. You're going to want to mow down comfort food when we play this clip for you.
Who would you think the Browns would choose to play first, Deshaun or Shedeur?
I think they would. Tough question. Deshaun, I think. Because here's the thing, like, the players know who the best players are. The players know who's going to give them the best shot to win. With Deshaun's experience and everything else, if he is truly healthy, right, like, and he is ready to go, I have a hard time seeing a scenario where he wouldn't get out there to practice and it wouldn't become, like, relatively obvious to the players there that, oh, well, this guy gives us a better shot to win. I don't think it's the wrong thing for the organization either, based on the amount of time and money and effort you've put into making Deshaun Watson your quarterback. And, like, look, if you're on the hook for the money next year anyway, it might be good to at least get a look at where he's at.
So the difference you could tell in a situation like that, somebody nationally like Albert Breer coming on in to answer that question is he's not here every day to know how the fan. No, it kind of does.
There's no emotion involved.
This is it's part of honestly why the Dee Podesta thing troubled people for so long, and maybe the Haslams wanted somebody who was going to be disconnected from the fans, have them living all the way out there to do their job every day. But, like, Albert's not here to know the sentiment that you shared, which is the sentiment of 98% of the fans here.
Yeah. Yes. And I'm not. See, I heard everything Albert said, and it's not to shoot the messenger. I want to make damn sure of that. Because he's looking at it from a football sense. There's so many things about that Albert's right about, and you just hit on the one thing that he doesn't take into account. It's that you still got to put him out there in front of a stadium full of fans. And remember, you already let Joe Flacco go once because you wanted to protect his feelings. We have to make that abundantly clear. This was before he got carted out of the stadium in tears. I'm not being mean-spirited. I'm only telling the truth.
Yeah.
I don't believe he has ever been in the right space emotionally to play for this team. I don't think he came here to want to. I think that there was probably a try at one point, but I don't think he ever wanted to be here because he wanted to play here. They just offered the most guaranteed money, and that was it. I think his heart was probably somewhere, maybe in Atlanta or somewhere else. It has just been a non-fit from the moment he signed whatever document to come here. And I think you make the situation tougher with your fans. You have a guy. Listen, I think that what Albert's saying, it's hard for me to sit there and deny and to not look through look through and read the tea leaves of what Albert is saying. I am a Shedeur Sanders fan. I don't want to become an apologist or somebody who's disconnected from reality for him. What Albert is telling you is that they believe. Now, you could say you have no faith in the Browns, and 26 years of history since 1999 would tell you that you're right. So that's perfectly fine for all the people who love Shedeur or just want to see Shedeur play. If you say, I just don't trust the Browns, bingo, my friend, you're allowed to say it. But when it comes to what Albert's saying, I think Albert, who always finds a way to say it a nice way, and not where it's like he's expressing his own opinion on it, but he's reporting on it. I think they're telling him that they don't believe he's anywhere near ready. They don't believe, and I think that they might be nice about it. They don't believe he's anywhere near ready, and they don't believe maybe that he's going to be ever ready during this season at all. Now, I've been believing that he's going to play regardless. You let other guys go out there and play before they were ready to go. but there is a responsibility. And I think what Albert's saying, again, there's football sense to what Albert's saying, because you have a responsibility to your veterans. But look how we moved the goalposts on that. You kept Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett. You let Kenny Pickett go before the year, but you brought those guys in because you were supposed to have a responsibility toward the veterans to try to get the season started off on the right foot. Now we're talking about responsibility towards the veterans of playing the better quarterback, because one guy was a first round pick, number 12 overall, right? First round pick, played at a high level in this league, did some good things in this league. It would go without saying that one guy would look better in practice, and that would probably be Deshaun Watson. Okay? But look how we're moving the goalposts on, the responsibility towards the veterans, towards the guys who are actually trying to win. That's one thing, but I'm saying, we didn't think about that before. We tried to protect feelings before, because the responsibility towards the veterans coming off of 2023 was to bring Joe Flacco back. But we didn't do that. See, this is what I can't stand. We just keep moving things around to find convenient little excuses, and that's not on Albert. That is not on Albert Breer. What Albert is telling you is exactly what most good franchises would do. We got to do what's right by the guys who have been here. We got to do what's right by the guys who give us the best chance to win. We got to put out there the best guy who gives us the best chance to win. But you've thrown that out the window before. So don't all of a sudden try to reach over the windowsill and try to bring it back up. No. If you guys can't keep telling me different things just to try to find some sort of convenient excuse for it. Because yesterday, it was more of the same. They knew they were going into this season not going to be very good. Well, that's great, because they built that. So they still need to answer for it. So if this thing's just going to go off the rails, which it pretty much is, then I'm going to at least see somebody that maybe the fans could be excited about. Maybe. Or at least they're curious. I don't think very many fans are curious about Deshaun Watson. I think they're curious about Shedeur Sanders. Deshaun Watson represents a bad part of Browns history to them. Deshaun Watson represents a bad part where a lot of them, said things that they wish they could take back about a previous quarterback who may be very good, who may take his team to a level, but probably has a ceiling that we got all emotional over and couldn't work out. That represents that. And it's also where they were bad, and they were likable while they were bad. And the only time that they were ever good was with veteran other guys that somehow got it. Jacoby Brissett, at least they were they were able to conduct the offense a little bit. The record wasn't that great. Joe Flacco doing what he did. Again, the only time anybody ever liked you was when the backups were in. Like, they don't want to do that. So it's like, man, at some point, I just want to throw the fans a bone. If the season gets out of the way, if you really don't think Shedeur's ready, damn it, fine. Throw Bailey Zappi in there.
Do you believe we're still in a world in the NFL where, I remember when I was young, we used to say all the time that if a guy got thrown into the fire too soon, it could ruin his NFL career. Then we got away from that and just assumed guys could overcome everything. And now we've come full circle.
Yeah,
where
thank God we have.
So do you think right now that if Shedeur Sanders goes out there, there's a chance, when you've seen how the other guys have played, including Joe Flacco, who's been great in Cincinnati, but you've seen how he played here, is there a part of you that if you really like Shedeur Sanders, you don't want the Browns this year to ruin Shedeur Sanders?
I think there's plenty of people who are not Browns fans who absolutely don't want him anywhere near this franchise, and think that if he does go, I think they secretly believe that if he goes out there, like, guys, he's not a wizard. And the Browns are saying, well, he's not ready. So if you are not a Browns fan, if you're one of the people watching this, listening to this on the Odyssey app, probably not in the area, but regardless, because a lot of people in the area are Browns fans, if you're watching this, listening to this, whatever it is probably in your best interest that he doesn't play this year, because they're telling you, if you are a Shedeur first fan, they are telling you through Albert, through other people, they don't believe he's ready. So you got a group of people you don't trust who believe he's not ready, who then you're going to think is not setting him up for success. So then automatically that becomes their fault to you. So now all the naysayers, all the people who don't care for Shedeur, all the people who've called in with silly conspiracies about Shedeur, they're all of a sudden going to be proven right in their eyes, because he would go out there and he would not play very well. I'm very nervous for when he plays, because they're telling us, without just coming out and telling us, it's through Zach and through Jason and through Albert and through anybody else that they talk to, that they don't think he's ready. And if he goes out there, they're doing it because they got no other choice to do it, and they're just going to go see it. And I'm afraid it ain't going to go very well. Because if they don't trust him to run the offense, whatever this offense they call it is, I don't think it's going to get off the ground. It's just going to make them look bad, and we're all going to feel even worse than we do right now. But the answer to all of that isn't playing Deshaun Watson. I wouldn't boo Shedeur Sanders. I don't think fans would boo. Fans would boo the Browns by doing bad because they're booing the Browns because the Browns are doing bad. Good God. I mean, think about the things that we've had to talk about here over the last few years. I mean, good God, we talked about how, well, you got to bring Nick out first and have Nick's, so the fans are excited for Nick, and then you bring Deshaun Watson. I mean, good God, they don't like the guy. They don't like the guy. Shedeur, they got a chance to like. But the Browns, in so many ways,
is ready.
They don't think Shedeur is ready.
So, but is there any point to playing Bailey Zappi? Does that do anything for anybody?
No, God, no.
Well, so you just outlined three terrible choices.
It's all bad.
So probably the choice that would make the most sense to somebody like Albert Breer is the guy that you owe $96 million still towards.
Because he's looking at it from a football sense. And if I was only looking at it from a football sense, and this is why I'm not ripping on Albert, because he's right. If we were only looking at it from football and you go, Ken, play the best player. Play the best player. Forget the fans. Don't think about the fans. Don't think about the people you talk to every day. Don't think about the people who come up to you in a grocery store. Don't think about the people who come up to you at a restaurant. Don't think about the guys who come up to you at wrestling practice. Don't think about any of those people. Think about football only. And I was to look at them both practicing, yeah, you know what conclusion I would probably reach, right? Because we're football guys. You know what conclusion I would probably reach. Sorry, I'm hitting the table too much. You know what conclusion I'd reach. But when I bring the fans into it and our own sanity, no. 216-474-0092. Would you be open to Deshaun playing before Shedeur? And where does Dylan Gabriel fit into this all around the AFC North? That's coming up at 8 on The Fan.
Anthony Lima for Vans.
this week. Buckeyes followed by Indiana, Texas A&M, Alabama, and Georgia. College football last night. Kent State wins in Akron in overtime, 42-35, and claims the wagon wheel. Kent State also won its first road game in nearly 3 years. Akron losing despite coming back from 18 points down in the fourth quarter to force overtime. Don't miss the Browns preview show tonight, 7 o'clock, right here on 92.3 The Fan. From the University Hospital Sports Desk, I'm Jeff Thomas.
Are we being too hard on Dillon Gabriel? Somebody has the numbers to back it up. Meanwhile, do you know that we are hitting the road? This show is hitting the road? What?
If you found numbers to back up that we're being too hard on Dillon Gabriel, then that's the entire problem with Paul DePodesta's entire tenure with this Browns football team.
All right, so we are finally going to be doing this show on remote live, and most importantly, it is for a great cause, benefiting shoes and clothes for kids. The listeners, we are inviting our listeners out to meet us. Kenny, are we sure about this? November.
Oh, man, that sounded terrible. That was the corniest thing you've ever said.
November 21st at the brand new Bomber Sports Cars, located at 203 East Royalton Road in Broadview Heights, from 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. for a special edition of the emerging podcast scene presented by Extend Technologies. Come out, meet 923 The Fan, and enjoy lunch from Donato's. Admission completely free. Shoes and clothes for kids will be on site, so here's all we ask. Bring your new socks, your donations, your shoes, whatever it is, for those in need. 923 The Fan Shoes and Clothes for Kids event with Ken Carman and Anthony Lima, Friday, November 21st at Bomber Sports Cards in Broadview Heights. So not this Friday, but next Friday, come out to Broadview Heights. Bring all those goods that we can donate, and we'll do it for a good cause.
Please do.
May even include some people on the show. We're still working on that, how we're going to make this really dynamic, but we will be so pumped to see you, especially if you've been downloading all of our podcasts throughout.
Yes.
We want to show appreciation for you. Come on out.
Come on down.
Eat on us and Bomber Sports in Broadview Heights.
Come on out. 11-1.
Anything off of me.
Well, depends. Well, depends how frisky you want to get.
Yeah, you want to get frisky?
I didn't know that was part of the deal, but I guess
we can make it part of the deal.
I'll start the waxing.
Twitter reactions brought to you by our social media reactions brought to you by Schaubman Jewelers, Cleveland's premier jewelry store. Mac McGlough sent us the video from the TV news crews getting in a fight from Anchorman. Shador and Deshaun's camera crews the second half of the season.
That's great.
I'm just laughing while you're trying to read about charity. And I'm just looking at this going, oh boy, it got me. There's a lot of good reactions. There's a lot of people, and I want to take a call here because I think it's going to crystallize exactly what a lot of people, our last segment we were just talking about, it's like, hey man, Albert Breer's telling you that they don't believe he is ready. They don't believe he's ready. They believe he's far away. And I want to put somebody right to the front of the line because I think that they're going to crystallize everything. Courtney in Wichita, Kansas. You're first up on The Fan. Hello.
What's up, fellas? I appreciate it, man. I love you guys. You guys do a great job.
Thank you,
Courtney. Man, first, I would think that the Browns guys are businessmen. Mm-hmm. If you start Shador one game, you sell the stadium out, there's 12 jerseys all over, and at least for a day, you get a buzz in the city. More importantly, I feel insulted by you saying Shador's not ready and Dillon is. What is Shador doing at practice? Taking a snap and running the wrong way?
I want you to know, Courtney, from my deepest recesses of my heart, it is not my belief. I'm just saying what they are clearly telling us.
I know, and I believe it.
I totally agree with you.
Videos. Watch Dillon stuff from at Oregon. The guys are wide open most times. Yeah. Go watch Shador's. He squeezes it, even against Carolina. The throw he made on that first touchdown, Dillon makes that throw? Well, I'm sorry. He might make it in the stand, but he's not going to make it perfect. So you got to help me, man. I don't understand what's going on in Cleveland, but I do believe this. When he plays, they win.
Well, I'll tell you, Courtney, thank you very much for the call. They're telling you, by every time they put Dillon Gabriel out there, they're telling you they don't believe that he is anywhere near it. And you are well within your right, considering their history, guys, to go, I don't believe the Browns. Look at what they've done. And they've gotten many evaluation wrong before, and I hate to say it, they may get many evaluation wrong again. I mean, look at all the evidence that tells you that, hey, you know what, I wouldn't necessarily trust him when it comes to quarterback evaluation. Yeah, when it comes to a lot of player evaluation. But when Albert says what he says, again, it's Albert, it's Zach, it's Jason, the top three guys I could think of. Jason obviously has the worst bedside manner out of all of them. Albert is a little bit more, there's a little bit more discretion. And he tries to beat around the bush without beating around the bush. If Albert is saying it, what he's saying is that, no, they think he's way behind, and that's why they keep marching out Dylan Gabriel, and you guys should look at Dylan Gabriel and go, my God, Shedeur must just take the snap and run backwards, as Courtney's wondering. Because this is
how could it be worse when we all know, we all agree, and we said this before the season, that Shedeur has more arm talent than Dylan Gabriel.
But they're not going to say that they believe that Shedeur is way behind because they don't want to get ripped. They don't want to say that, so they're going to say that's why Kevin Stefanski is going to treat everything like he's giving a deposition, and basically it's the same version as I do not recall, because they're not going to tell you that. You're going to wait for Albert to come on, and Zach and Jason and so forth. They're going to do that. And it's going to reach a time. Well, it's already reached a time where plenty of people other than Courtney, I mean, I look at my phone, it's lighting up, they're all saying the same thing. Then what is Dylan Gabriel? What are we watching Dylan Gabriel for if Shedeur Sanders isn't ready? Yeah, they're telling you without telling you. They don't want to tell you what they believe is the truth because they don't want us all going nuts. They know the fans want to see Shedeur Sanders. Even if they don't like the guy, they're curious. Now, the other guy, I don't think they're curious. Somebody did, and again, more social media reactions brought to you by Scheib & Jewelers, Cleveland's premier jewelry store. 5 is fast. You guys are lying if you're saying you're not interested in seeing Watson. We have nothing to lose for what it'll be if he's still good. The drama is over. I don't know, man. I need to see it. I will. You bring me a Bible. What?
I think interested is not the correct word. I don't think anybody's interested in seeing Watson. It's just, what other options do we have? Right?
I'll tell you this. I'd rather see just about anybody else. I am not interested. You bring a Bible, I'll swear on it.
The only thing for me, because I'm not worried that Deshaun Watson is going to go somewhere else and be amazing. You might have had some worry about that with Baker.
I don't think he's going to step in here and be amazing either, but I've also seen what they've rolled out there for the last.
I think for me, it's Watson. I told you earlier, he looked like a different guy than any guy I'd ever seen in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And now you add to that 3 surgeries, 2 downstairs, 1 upstairs. What guys recover from that?
Not many. The way he plays the game is going to take physical tolls on him. And I'm at the point, guys, I'm ready to move on to somebody else. If it ain't Shedeur, I'm telling you, they must not think highly of Shedeur. So a lot of people are going through their mock drafts going, well, I haven't seen Shedeur yet, so I'm not going to take a quarterback. No, you gotta, guys, it's got to be the other way around. If you're going to do a mock draft as a fan or as an analyst or whatever, it's got to be quarterback-centric until you actually see Shedeur. It's got to be the other way. And if you don't see Shedeur, guess what? They're taking a quarterback. They're absolutely taking a quarterback. If he don't play this year, they're not going to not take a guy at the top of the draft because Shedeur didn't play this year. There ain't a chance in hell. So that's what they're telling you through all this. But I'm ready for someone new. I'm ready for name whoever it is, and then as this season goes, I'm ready for Shedeur. I don't have very much belief that Deshaun Watson will get his career restarted anywhere else, and even if he does, fine. The fans don't like him here. This has been a nasty chapter in our history here. Again, I'm getting Facebook invites to events for when the guy gets cut, for crying out loud. They don't want him out there. And if I'm looking at it from a football sense, if I were just a football coach, yeah, of course, what Albert Breer says is true. But I'm not. I talk to fans every single day of my life. And they don't want him out there, guys. They don't. And the ones who do have just given up.
Oh, there's a lot. I do see a lot of that. I see a lot of people saying I've already gotten to that place.
They're not one, you're curious to see Shedeur. The other ones are like, I don't care. The season sucks. This team sucks. They're going nowhere. Fine. Owen made that case 40 minutes ago. And the only reason Owen says whatever. Who cares? It's not, there's no exuberance at all. None. At least give me a guy where there'd be some sort of interest, some depth of feeling from the fan base. Because if we're just not going to care about this thing, if we're going to go through the motions here, at least I get a guy who the fans kind of care about. And I know it probably wouldn't even be fair to him if I'm saying going through the motions here, but whatever. The hell with it, because I just don't want to see the other guy that bad. Go ahead. 216-474-0092. I mean, I didn't mean to take the words out of your mouth, Owen, but that's exactly what it was 40 minutes ago. Yeah. And you're saying what a lot of people are saying. Nobody's pounding tables. Well, get him back out there.
There's only one guy that would make you care, and they're obviously not going to go to him, or they would have done it already. They just keep willing Dylan out here.
Bailey Zappi.
That's the guy. You got it.
I'm kidding.
You hit the nail on the Zappy.
216-474-0092. Alvis in Cleveland. Hello.
Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing? Thanks for taking my call.
Doing well.
Hey, at the end of the day, man, I'm a Browns fan, just period. And this stuff is so draining. Like, they keep saying he's not ready. Okay, who's saying he's not ready? Albert Breer, okay, but practice is closed to the public. So don't nobody know what he's doing.
But hold on. Albert, that's not Albert's opinion. Albert is being told that by people in the building. The
Right,
people
okay,
who get to
by people
watch
that are
people who get to watch the closed portion of practice are telling that to Albert.
Okay, but you got one group of people in the building that's saying he's making progress, he's doing well. You got another group of people that are saying he's not ready.
Well, the progress thing. People are saying that about Deshaun Watson, that he's making progress and looking more and more ready.
They keep on willing Dylan Gabriel out. He's supposed to have been this computer whiz. He can process. He can do all this and do all that. He hasn't done nothing in the 4 games. Okay, that's fine. Okay, now with the thing with
turned
Deshaun
into the
Watson,
beginning of RoboCop.
Now the thing with Deshaun Watson, at the end of the day, he's on the hook for what, $96 million next year. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's either they're going to cut him and take the dead cap hit, or they're going to play him. Like, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter who plays, because we're not winning. We're not winning. I don't trust the Browns no more. I don't trust the organization. They don't have no type of sense of direction. They don't know where they want to go. They act like they just want to tank and lose. If that's the case, just I believe that true fans like me and you guys, we deserve to know the truth. Just tell us the truth, so it wouldn't be all this back and forth stuff. Just tell us the truth of what you guys are really going to do with this season. Because right now, everybody's looking bad. And the way it's going, it looks like they're only going to win about 2 games. So then what's going to happen when they win the 2 games? Are they going to still keep Kevin Stefanski because they're going to say, oh, well, he didn't have nothing to work with? Dylan Gabriel is his guy. That's the guy that he picked. That's the guy that he wanted. So that's why he's going to keep on sending him out there to try to get him up to speed so he doesn't look bad. This thing with Shedeur Sanders, listen, put him out there. I mean, they put Dylan Gabriel out there, but I guarantee you this, a lot of those throws on the side, to the sideline and down the field, I bet you Shedeur can make those passes. I bet you he can see the field. It's things that Shedeur can process that I know he can process because his father is a DB. He's an All-American Pro Bowl DB. You think his father hasn't, kind of went over some things with him, coming up?
Oh, well, obviously, Alvis, obviously. And the only, redeeming thing that anybody has, and this is not, this sucks. Don't take this as my words here, Alvis. Thank you very much for the call. It's like, well, he hasn't turned the ball over very much. That's it. The only thing I could think of is Shedeur would probably hold on to the ball a long time, probably take some sacks. But Dylan Gabriel's running himself into sacks.
Oh, yeah.
That's why it's not, to me, guys.
With open receivers.
It's not a Dylan Gabriel versus Shedeur Sanders debate to me. It's not. It's a what the Browns believe he's ready for debate versus what we believe Shedeur Sanders is ready for. And it's reaching a point where I think I agree with a lot of you. It's like, guys, they're 2-7. Who gives a bleep? Who cares? Who cares? So, and I'm telling people, it's like, well, they're playing Baltimore this week. Well, you don't want to play them this week against Baltimore. What, you want to send them on the road, play them against Las Vegas? You want to bring them back home, play them against Tennessee or whatever the hell the schedule says? Fine. But at least I got some excitement and some curiosity out of him. The other ones, nobody wants to see Bailey Zappi.
What do you think?
Nobody wants to see Deshaun Watson for a multitude of different reasons because they're not mad at Bailey Zappi. They're just bored by him.
Honestly, think they're worried about? There has to be a reason. What is the reason? Is it that they think if they trot a guy that they don't think is remotely ready to play football, it is going to ruin his career? Is that why they're not playing Shedeur?
Possibly.
Is that a legitimate concern? And what signal does that send to the Shedeur fans? They think your guy is such a project that they're worried about his future in this situation. Does any of that make you pause and say, ooh, they might be right. They might ruin our guy.
Record Lima's question. I want to answer that later in the show because we have 2-second trivia coming up here momentarily. You ask a great question. I'm going to answer that here in about 40 minutes, okay? We got Around the AFC North coming up at 8 o'clock. We got 2-second trivia coming up here in just a few moments. 216-474-0092. That's 216-474-0092. Clear them out Bring them on in. Your chance to eat a 4-pack of Mr. Hero combo. Well, I don't think you want to eat the 4-pack of Mr. Hero combo meals all at one sitting. I mean, you can, but it's not going to be like the old 96 or something that I can give you anything for. I mean, you just ate the Mr. Hero. I wasn't even sitting there in front of you to watch you do it. But you can win a 4-pack of combo meals from Mr. Hero. You could space them out. You can buy the family Mr. Hero. Whatever you do, man, they're your coupons. You want them, so you go right on ahead and do it. 216-474-0092. 2-second trivia. Your chance to eat free Mr. Hero coming up in 5 minutes. Ken Carman, Anthony Lima, and I have an answer for that question, Tone, and I want to answer that at 8:25 on The Fan. Peter and Company Jewelers in Avon.
I'm AJ Petiti. Shop Petiti Garden Centers now for 40% off lifelike Christmas trees and buy one, get one half off ornaments. Plus, our Cleveland ornament is available in stores now, featuring Cleveland Metro Park Zoo. Petiti's, now open in Bath Township.
Whenever you need to talk about the Browns, we got you covered. We are Sports Radio 92.3 The Fan. You have 2 seconds and only 2 seconds to win. This is 2-second trivia.
It is time for 2-second trivia. And you can win your 4-pack of Mr. Hero combo meals when you answer 2 questions within 2 seconds each during 2-second trivia. Mr. Hero introduces their new mini churros to the menu, rolled in cinnamon sugar and served with a caramel dipping sauce. Plus, backed by popular demand, Mr. Hero has brought back the onion petals served with a tangy sauce. Order in-store, online, or through the Mr. Hero app. Anthony Lima is your proctor. He is ready. Let's go to the phones for 2-second trivia. Patrick in Cleveland, home of the Glenville Tarblooders. Patrick, are you ready for 2-second trivia?
I'm ready. Let's get it.
Lima, take it away.
All right. We will start out with a question that I just finished moments ago. 2 Browns quarterbacks have already gone to other teams, and one this year as a starter. One is Joe Flacco. Who's the other?
Kenny Pickett.
Good guess. That might change in a few weeks.
Let's go to Ray in Akron, home of the North Vikings. Ray, are you ready?
Let's go, boys.
Lima, take it away.
Can you name the Browns player that jumped off sides late on 4th down in the 4th quarter in the loss to the Jets?
Billy Wynn.
That's the callback.
Close. Let's go to Ted and Lorraine, home of the Titans. Ted, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Lima, take it away.
Teddy. Who leads the Browns in total receptions with 42, 13 higher than the next one?
Bannon.
Got it. He snuck it in there.
There you go.
Is he good?
You got it.
Wow. At
All
the
right.
buzzer.
Ladies and gentlemen,
We'll get
Ted in Lorraine is in the barn. Ted, are you ready for your chance to win 2-second trivia?
I'm ready.
Lima, check it
All right, big bad Browns fan. Myles Garrett leads the Browns with 11 sacks. Who is next? Couldn't name another defensive player.
So close, yet so far. Dave in Brecksville, home of the big, beautiful bees. Dave, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Lima, take it away.
What is the traveling trophy that Akron and Kent State play for every single year, including last night?
The wagon wheel.
Got him.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dave in Brecksville is in the barn. Dave, your chance to eat some free Mr. Hero. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Lima, take it away.
Which quarterback leads the NFL in passing yards this season at 2,659?
Baker Mayfield.
Ooh, good guess. Good guess. Let's go to Ross in Westlake, home of the Demons. Ross, are you ready?
Let's do it, boys.
Tone, take it away.
The Cavaliers shot the 3rd most NBA threes in a game in NBA history on Monday night against Miami. How many did they launch?
51.
Off by a lot.
Incorrect.
They shoot threes in this league now.
Nick in Medina, home of the Highland Hornets. Nick, are you ready?
You got it. You know. Showtime.
There's somebody else talking
It's
on the
an
line there.
tag team effort.
Are there 2 people trying to work this thing?
Well, there's 4 passes. There's 4 of us sitting here.
Oh, okay. Do you want to allow that? That's on you,
This
Owen.
isn't Who Wants to Be a Millionaire situation.
Go in the other
here we
room,
go.
Nick. All right.
They're leaving.
Here we go. I don't believe you whatsoever.
Well, I got to put my phone away,
You
too.
lying sack of potatoes. Here we go. Lima, take it away.
What West Side suburb canceled pickleball last week?
Rocky River.
Yes. You got it.
All right.
I'm taking over this one.
Go ahead. Floor is yours.
What receptacle is my mother's ashes in?
Coffee can.
Wrong.
Not in a coffee can.
No. Folgers does not have mom in it. Donnie.
When David comes home for Christmas.
Speak of the devil, Donnie in Strongsville, home of the Mustangs. Donnie, are you ready?
All right, let's go.
Lima, take it away.
Which recently fired college football coach already suing to collect his full $53 million buyout.
Ooh, Donnie is out of his element. Sean in Medina, home of the Buckeye Bucks. Sean, are you ready?
You actually got it right. Take it away.
Lima, take it away.
What shipwreck are Ken and Owen absolutely obsessed with that just observed its 50th anniversary?
Don't know.
Oh, come on.
The ship
29
Dunno.
souls.
One in Bay Village.
Buckeye's a landlocked city.
It's true.
Valley City.
I don't think there are any lakes in Valley. There probably is one, but I mean, the hell.
There's peaks and valleys.
216-474-0092. We're getting close to lightning round time. John, a multiple-time winner in Walton Hills, home of the Normandy Invaders, if I'm not mistaken. John, are you ready?
Roman Doodles.
Lima, take it away.
Who's Indiana's head football coach?
Shohei Ohtani.
What?
It's not?
What? Of all the things he gets right, he doesn't know the Indiana head football coach is? What the hell? Are we not going to give away the free Roman?
Let's go. Next.
All
I almost
right,
don't
here
want
we go.
anyone to win it now.
216-474-0092. Chris in Bedford,
Come on,
home of
Chris.
the Bobcats. Chris,
Let's
are you
go.
ready?
Yes, let's go.
Lima, take it away.
Which NBA team leads the league in three-point attempts per basketball game at 47?
Yo, Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yes.
Nope. Okay,
you
got it right.
got it.
Wrong button.
Okay. Yeah.
This one.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris is in the barn. Chris, are you ready for your chance to eat some free Mr. Hero?
I'm so hungry. I need this.
Lima, take it away.
Which Mid-American Conference football team now has the wagon wheel in its trophy case?
Penn State.
Merry Christmas, Bedford Falls! Ladies and gentlemen, Chris in Bedford, he is your winner! Congratulations, Chris. You're eating some free Mr. Hero.
Oh, I can't wait. I won the last fan bowl, by the way. You got to get that going again. Do the road
This
show.
guy's just
and
winning.
I won this.
Well, make sure to come on out from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. for
Emerging
a special
podcast
edition of the Emerging Podcast Scene presented by Extend Technologies, and bring some beautiful donations for shoes and clothes for kids on Friday, November 21st at the Bomber Sports Cards in Broadview Heights.
I'll bring a Johnny Manziel jersey like I did last time.
Beautiful.
Outstanding, Chris. Thank you very much. We put Chris on hold. Remember, Mr. Hero introduces there are no mini churros to the menu. Rolled in cinnamon sugar and served with a caramel dipping sauce, just like I am. Plus, by
92.3 The Fan. From the University Hospital Sports Desk, I'm Jeff Thomas.
All the Browns and NFL news you may have missed at work. The Afternoon Drive. Weekdays starting at 2. 92.3 The Fan.
It's time. Week 10. Week 11? Who the hell cares anymore? It's just time we go around the AFC North. Remember, all guests appear on the Fan Hotline. We got 3 of them. And our first stop is in Baltimore, the Charm City. Is it the Charm City? Who cares? Bob Haney, 105.7 The Fan in Baltimore, joins us as the Ravens get set to take on our Cleveland Browns. Bob, first off, were you guys stealing signs or having illegal signs? What was that?
Well, John Harbaugh denied any wrongdoing on behalf of the Ravens, where they're doing their move cadence defensively. It may have shaken up J.J. McCarthy just a little bit, but you have to find it curious, and I'm just trying to be unbiased here, that the home team gets 8 false start penalties. Not the other way around. The home team gets 8 false starts, but Aaron Jones may implied after the game that the Ravens could have been doing something covert, and John Harbaugh said, no, we're doing everything within the rules because we don't break the rules during the Ravens.
Obviously, the Ravens, now that they've got their team a lot healthier, have been able to right the ship. But what has been noticeable about this team, and how sustainable will it be for you guys not only to make the regular season run, but to continue it on if you get into the postseason and win games?
Well, getting Lamar back is huge, of course, for the entirety of the team. But defensively, they forced 8 turnovers in the last 4 games. 4 straight games, they've given up less than 20 points. They were arguably the worst defense in the league as they put together that 1-5 record, bottomed out against Houston when they lost 44-10. Still don't get a ton of sacks, but they're starting to get pressures. They got Draymond Jones from Tennessee at the trade deadline. Carl Lawson's waiting to get an opportunity to play here. So defensively, they've been a lot better. They're still not elite by any stretch of the imagination. Marlon Humphrey's dealing with a finger issue. He might need surgery, which could cost him a couple of weeks. We'll find out more today when they get back to practice. But the defense, forcing turnovers and being stout, has been huge for them.
What, if anything, has changed with the offense since the return of Lamar Jackson? Not just like, his stats are great or anything, but have they changed anything maybe schematically?
They've added Keaton Mitchell to the mix at running back to kind of be the difference from Derrick Henry's style, the battering ram and wearing it down into the fourth quarter. Keaton Mitchell's a guy that touches the ball and can go from anywhere on the field. He's got electric speed. He's almost 2 years removed now from knee surgery, so adding him to the mix has been big. Lamar's starting to incorporate the tight ends a little bit more into the offense here. Andrew scored another touchdown Sunday against the Vikings. The big problem for the Ravens offensively, the offensive line stinks, especially on the right side. So I would expect Myles Garrett's going to be licking his chops going up against Rosengarten. And even Ronnie's been dealing with an ankle, Ronnie Stanley. But, he's an all-pro pedigree. But Rosengarten has been brutal. Lele next to him at right guard's been terrible. And Voorhees at left guard. They're making Tyler Linderbaum look bad, the center, because there's only so much he can do.
Obviously, you're going to be going up against a little bit different Browns team than when you saw him early in the season. That was Joe Flacco. This is going to be Dylan Gabriel. Who would you be more... I shouldn't say concerned because I don't think you'd be concerned at all, but who would you be more concerned about playing? Would it be Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, or Deshaun Watson?
I'm not feeling fear at all. I don't want to sound arrogant, but there's no fear there. Quinshon Judkins is a guy that might cause some problems if the Browns feed him the ball enough, because the Ravens have at times had a hard time stopping the run. But of the quarterbacks, no fear here.
I got nothing now.
Did Watson beat you guys with a big comeback on the road?
Who? What?
All right.
Who was that?
Yeah, see
Watson
that?
a couple
Yeah, there
years,
you
that was a couple years ago. What?
Yeah, you get what you deserve. Yeah, you get what you deserve. Thank you, Bob Haney, 105.7 The Fan in Baltimore. Now go to Cincinnati, where they're at Pittsburgh on Sunday, 1 p.m. against the Steelers. Mo Egger, ESPN 1530 in Cincinnati. Joe Burrow going to be back in, 2.5 weeks, it seems?
My guess is 2 weeks from tomorrow, on Thanksgiving, against the Baltimore Ravens. That's what he's been targeting. All signs are pointing toward him being able to go and play against Baltimore. The question is, will they lose their next 2 games before they play the Baltimore Ravens, or can they find a way to jump back into the race to make his return matter?
I forgot what day of the week it is there, Mo. My bad. Zach Taylor, is he on an actual hot seat, or is it just like, well, it's the Bengals and the fans are mad, but who knows if he'd actually get let go?
I think his seat is warm. Yeah, I think his seat is warm. I'm not entirely sure it should be either. I mean, if you look at the thing that has kept the Bengals even somewhat afloat has been his offense with Joe Flacco. And, they have elite weaponry and all that stuff, but to get a quarterback ready to go with a very short amount of time and play at the level he has had, that he's played at, I think the coach and the main play caller deserves a measure of credit for it. They did Zach no favors this year, and I think we talked about this, by not addressing the defense at all. This defense is not just the worst in the NFL. According to many metrics, it's one of the worst over the last 50 or 60 years. That's not Zach Taylor's fault. I think what will be interesting is if the way they've played continues, where the offense is doing its part. They've scored 80 points over the last 2 games and haven't won either, and the defense is costing them games. Does the locker room fracture? Does that splinter the team? If so, I think that'll be the first time such a thing has happened under Zach Taylor. I think if you ask most Bengals fans, they could take or leave Zach Taylor. The bigger issue is the de facto general manager. Duke Tobin did nothing to this defense. He's had years to fix it. He hasn't been able to. And yet, I think most would expect him to get another crack at fixing it this offseason.
It has been 4 years since Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl and obviously followed it up with an AFC Championship game. At that point, I think everybody in the league was like, Joe Burrow is 100 out of 100. He is, outside of Patrick Mahomes, that's who you would want. Where are Bengals fans today on their confidence level that Joe Burrow, they are going to win big with him?
Man, it ain't 100 out of 100. It's probably 50 out of 100, maybe. I think Bengals fans have all the confidence in the world that a healthy Joe Burrow is going to play at a really, really high level. I think some will say, look, he's going to have to adjust how he plays a little bit. He doesn't like going under center, and when Jake Browning played in 2023 and with Joe Flacco playing this year, those quarterbacks have been under center, and the team has run the ball more effectively. They've run play action more effectively. Joe Burrow famously hates playing under center. And so I think some will say, look, Joe's going to have to adjust how he plays, maybe not play nearly as much hero ball, though I think that's a little bit overrated. I think if you look, though, at the team in 2021 and 2022, they had defenses that they could just throw money at, right? And if they did a good job. DJ Reader, Trey Hendrickson, Chidobe Awuzie, Von Bell, Mike Hill, free agents from other teams that in some respects they overpaid. Well, now that you have the weaponry and the quarterback making the money that they're pulling in, you've got to fix your defense through the draft. And Duke Tobin's draft record this decade is abysmal, especially on the defensive side of the ball. There's probably only one player on that unit that you would say you want here next year. And so if Joe Burrow plays 17 games next season, could you sneak into the playoffs? Probably. They came very close last year, but winning a championship, not with the way they've built their defenses. And I don't know that anybody has any confidence in them executing a rebuild quickly enough to reopen the Super Bowl window while Joe Burrow's under contract.
Mo Egger, ESPN 1530 in Cincinnati as the Bengals get set to take on the Steelers coming up at 1 p.m. The other half of that game. Chris Muller, 93.7 The Fan in Pittsburgh. Is there a rift that's growing between Mike Tomlin and Aaron Rodgers? Chris Muller, go.
I think that there isn't necessarily a rift, but man, maybe
It's just two old lions who have decided they're going to be honest with each other about each other. Although you'll have to wait for Rodgers to see if there's really something bad going there, because if he does his media avail and starts ripping the defense or saying this or that, then it could be ugly. I was surprised that Tomlin just said, I'm not chalking it up to one bad game or an off night. He kind of threw Rodgers and the offense under the bus, and they were horrible. Don't get me wrong. Like, Rodgers was the worst player on the field in that game, and if he plays even an average game, they actually have a chance to win it. But it was jarring to hear Tomlin just throw that out there. Maybe he thinks the quarterback can deal with tough love, but you rarely see him just make it pretty obvious who he thinks cost his team the game, unless it's like a rookie that he's going to banish forever. So stay tuned on this front. I don't think we're at DEFCON 1 yet, maybe not even at DEFCON 5 for all of you DEFCONers out there. 5 is better than 1.
Thank you.
But
no, 1 is bigger than 3.
Thank
5.
you.
No. 1 is the worst one. If you're at DEFCON 5, you just
better.
started
I'm
the
sorry.
DEFCON
Better.
process.
I'm sorry.
Which one is the least bad?
The least bad is DEFCON 5. You don't want to be DEFCONing at all, but this one's like it's at the imaginary DEFCON 6, I think, right now. And if they start losing several games in a row, then it could get mighty ugly.
What a breakdown. Because we definitely talked about that before.
I know what he's talking
not
about.
Not so as eloquent as you just did. Chris Muller joining us from Pittsburgh. So we have gotten into a big conversation about the lack of accountability in Cleveland. Guys don't get fired. Guys don't get benched. Guys don't lose their jobs. But you guys just cut Juan Thornhill. I know that also Mike Tomlin has dealt with a lot of characters and allowed them to continue some of their mannerisms or their behavioral issues in the past. So where are people on Mike Tomlin as a leader in that locker room?
I mean, I think, like, if you're one of the really good players who's had some successes with him, i.e. like a Cam Hayward, who is like at least a slight tether to their last Super Bowl appearance, then you respect Mike. I think also, like, the degree to which you like Mike is almost directly proportional to how good of a player you are. He very famously let Antonio Brown more or less do whatever he wanted until that situation blew up. He very famously let Ben Roethlisberger do the exact same, and Ben, forget about any other like off-field stuff, on the field and in the locker room was not like the most well-liked guy. That's not a state secret. And then with a guy like George Pickens, the only reason we knew George Pickens showed up past the window of time, coming off of a hamstring injury, for the Christmas Day game against the Chiefs last year, and so they had to roll the dice and just label him active when they weren't positive he could go, is that somebody else showed up late who wasn't supposed to show up late, not on the team, but in that orbit, and saw Pickens walking in. And Mike tried to pretend like it didn't happen, basically. He ran cover for him and said, oh, I've got a lot going on. I didn't even know that happened. So I think guys are maybe not respect him, but they like him if he gives them preferential treatment or he's deferential to them. But if you're one of the guys that's a down the liner, maybe you probably look at this and say, wait a minute, I know it's the NFL, but why is this guy getting to do whatever he wants while I get crushed? Although, to be fair, guys, you know this well as people who watched him last year. Juan Thornhill sucks. He's a terrible football player. He's been a terrible football player for
we
5
told
years
you that.
now.
You should have just
Why
listened.
didn't you just believe us?
Just listen to
We
us
tried
next
to tell
time.
you.
We did.
No, you
Tell
didn't.
him.
Not good.
Tell
Not
him.
hard
We
enough.
did.
You guys didn't listen good enough.
So you're saying you were telling us that was a DEFCON 1 situation when the signing happened, and we didn't believe you?
I don't know if we told it DEFCON 1, but you were just like, no, because you guys all acted all arrogant, like, well, he was bad with the Browns, but we'll straighten him out. That's the way you guys acted. That's exactly how you acted.
The funny part was that Mike was asked about him and basically just said, yeah, he sucks. He
really did.
Try.
Yeah.
He didn't even try to sugarcoat. He's like, Juan's play declined significantly was essentially what he said, which is the occasional funny moment.
Yeah, he's a better podcast host than he is a defensive back now.
Did he get a Steelers tattoo?
I hope not for his sake. I hope it was a henna if he did.
I hope he did. All right. I wanted to ask you this. Did you see that Stephen Vogt what? What are you laughing about? Stop laughing.
I just laughed at the fact that you sounded like, I don't know. Am I going to ask him about Stephen Vogt?
Well, no, I wanted to ask you this.
Eaten bologna.
Did you see Stephen Vogt? Yeah, he's never eaten bologna. And I said he ain't missing nothing. But now I don't eat bologna anymore, but I like Vienna sausages.
Goose liver. I think goose liver's good.
Did you see Stephen Vogt won Manager of the Year?
I did not.
Okay, Stephen Vogt, the manager of the Guardians, won Manager of the Year. Boy, you guys love your baseball over there in Pittsburgh. Do you now? He won it for the second year in a row. Do you believe that's a sign from the media to the Dolans that they need to spend more money? If the Dolans manager of the Guardians, Stephen Vogt, won Manager of the Year 2 years in a row.
A sign from the national or the scattered baseball media. A sign
from the scattered baseball media that votes on such matters that they would vote for Stephen Vogt to be Manager of the Year 2 times in a row, and that is a signal to the Dolans that they need to spend more money.
So I guess I'd have to agree that voting for Vogt is a vote of confidence that he can do the job if the Dolans would just vote to spend more money internally. Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
When's Shedeur playing?
As soon as possible. Did you see what they rolled out there last week? See what they're rolling out there this week?
I understand if you pick a quarterback in the third round that maybe you want to give him a runway, but my God, I think we've run out of it with Dylan Gabriel. At least give me the curiosity factor here. I don't even care if Shedeur knows the playbook or whatever the hell he's doing behind the scenes. Inquiring minds want to see this guy either crash and burn or somehow look good and make them look really stupid for not putting him in earlier.
What do you think it'll be? What do you think the outcome would be?
I don't think he's good enough at the NFL level. If he's not crushing the playbook, I think he's closer physically to Kenny Pickett than he is anything. So he better be crushing the playbook and better be anticipating throws. And nothing I've heard from you guys or anybody else up there suggests. You ain't heard
us say nothing about that. You ain't heard us say nothing about that. You ain't paying attention.
I listen every morning.
No, you don't.
On YouTube. And then I sometimes get into your YouTube comments and troll your listeners.
I enjoy
Maybe
that.
I'll do that right after this interview.
I kind of wish you would. All they do is argue about Shedeur Sanders in there. It bores me.
I'm going to go in there and just talk about Stephen Vogt today.
Please do. Say Stephen Vogt would have Shedeur Sanders pitch if he played for the Guardians.
I think he'd have him DH or so. What's the worst thing Shedeur Sanders would do as a baseball player? Well, no, Stephen Vogt would have him do the right thing, and then the Dolans would say, we're not going to pay him to do that.
Boom. There you go. So you know what you're doing. All right, Chris, see you in hell. Chris Muller, 93.7 The Fan in Pittsburgh. That is Around the AFC North. Bob Haney, 105.7 The Fan in Baltimore. Mo Egger, ESPN, 1530 in Cincinnati. Chris Muller, 93.7 The Fan in Pittsburgh. Can I do Champions Pose?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, stop it. You're so patronizing when you do such a thing like that. Coming up at 8:45. I can't celebrate a win on this. No, I can't. And watching college basketball might have put me in a better place with the Cavs last night. And Lima asked me a very serious question about Shedeur right before we went to break 40 minutes ago. I answered that in 5 minutes on The Fan.
92.3 The Fan, 2020 Sports.
This 2020
20th at the Cleveland Field Office. To register, email cle.recruitment@secretservice.gov. That's cle.recruitment@secretservice.gov.
You can now watch The Fan live on YouTube. Catch The Ken Carman Show with Anthony Lima from 6 till 10 a.m. and Afternoon Drive with Nick Wilson and Jonathan Peterlin from 2 to 7 p.m. each and every weekday. It's free. Subscribe to 92.3 The Fan on YouTube.
Lima had not a diabolical question. He asked me a legitimate question. We were arguing about the whole. It went to a wild place earlier today, where it was Albert Breer was on Afternoon Drive yesterday. He goes, well, if they had their druthers, probably if they saw both in practice, the Browns would probably put Deshaun Watson on the field before Shedeur Sanders. People were in an uproar. I don't think that was Albert's opinion. I think that he's just sharing the opinion of people he talks to in the building. And then Lima had a question to ask me, and it turned into a big Shedeur thing, Shedeur, Dylan Gabriel. And I go, guys, it's not a Shedeur or Dylan Gabriel argument. I know some people have made an argument, well, you guys are being too hard on Dylan Gabriel. We'll talk about that coming up here in a little bit. I don't think it's about an argument of Dylan or Shedeur. It's an argument, because I don't think anybody's making an argument for Dylan Gabriel. Not seriously. It's an argument about the Browns and whether or not you trust them, that they're comfortable with Shedeur Sanders? And the answer is no. However, Lima asked me this question right before the break 40 minutes ago. Nobody wants to see Bailey Zappi. Nobody wants to see Deshaun Watson for a multitude of different reasons, because they're not mad at Bailey Zappi. They're just bored by him.
Honestly think they're worried about? There has to be a reason. What is the reason? Is it that they think if they trot a guy that they don't think is remotely ready to play football, it is going to ruin his career? Is that why they're not playing Shedeur? Is that a legitimate concern? And what signal does that send to the Shedeur fans? That they think your guy is such a project that they're worried about his future in this situation? Does any of that make you pause and say, ooh, they might be right. They might ruin our guy?
I don't know if they are worried about his future. I think they're worried about, can they get anything out of him right now? Can he play well enough right now? I think that we are worried about his future if he goes out there and he plays poorly. Again, he was a 5th-round pick. There is clearly a huge chasm between what the fans feel, what the media feels, and and I think fans and media are almost lockstep in so many ways. The fans and media and what the NFL thinks of what he can do. There is a giant Pacific Ocean between the two. And if you put that there between the two beliefs, I don't know if there's a fear of his future. I just don't think that they believe that he can help them out right now, and that he's able to get out there in the field. It's not I would like to see him out there. But it's not a Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur thing. I don't think it's a Shedeur versus any player thing. I just think it's their belief to it. And if they're afraid of anything, it might be that, they're going to take a shellacking on media, because nobody wants to admit that they're wrong at first. If he goes out there and he's terrible, well, the Browns have messed him up because it's the Browns. I mean, it's the perfect people to blame. The perfect people to blame. But if you're the Browns, I've stood there and I've said, I don't think that they're doing anything to sabotage him on purpose. Now, if you think that the Browns are just bad at talent evaluation and they're putting him in the wrong spot, fine. I'm probably with you in so many ways. But when it comes to sabotaging, this is a grand conspiracy against Shedeur, I don't believe that at all.
Kenny, the reason I don't think it could be
that conversation.
Yeah, listen, there are 53 on a roster, but how many are there every day? How many players are there every day at Browns practice? If you add up scout team, if you add up everybody, okay?
65,
so 65, 70 guys.
Something like that.
Then, how many coaches are on the coaching staff?
Whole bunch.
And how many guys?
Over a dozen.
How many guys are in the front office? You would think if there was any question about where Dylan Gabriel is in relation to Shedeur Sanders, do you think the Browns, while this is quickly getting away from them, to where people are wondering who, now that DePodesta is gone, if there's going to be a power struggle, if guys are going to start heading for the hills, right? If all that was going on behind the scenes in an irrelevant season in which they're not going to win games, how in the world are we not hearing from people that Shedeur is really good and the Browns are botching this?
I don't know. I don't know.
Wouldn't we be hearing that from somebody?
I think you would.
Defense, too.
Well, wait a minute. What about Mary Kay?
them.
Doesn't Mary Kay say he's good every time he comes on? Or every time she comes on?
Yeah, but she also says Deshaun Watson is making big strides and is going to be ready.
Are they both making big strides?
I am not hearing
Wait a minute.
that the Browns are making some egregious mistake by playing the guy that has some of the worst numbers in the NFL and has some of the laugh out loud, hilarious low light moments that we've seen at the early stages of a football career. I am not hearing that they're playing the wrong guy. Haven't heard it. Haven't seen it. Haven't seen it leaked. Haven't heard anybody on a podcast. These guys all have a way to get their message out. If it was so obvious, Albert Breer and Zach Jackson always say the same thing. Hold on, listen to me for a second. Stop looking for a cut sheet and listen to me. I have not heard, wouldn't you think, that the guys that say you can't lie to a locker room, you cannot trot out the wrong guy because a locker room will revolt. Where's the revolt? Where is it? Guys are still playing hard last week. Guys are almost playing too hard where they're jumping off sides at the end of a game. Where is it? Where's the give up that, oh my God, there's going to be a mutiny in the locker room, in the building because they're playing the wrong guy? Because it doesn't seem like anybody thinks they're playing the wrong guy. It just doesn't seem that way. And the guy we're seeing is horrible. The guy we're seeing is getting humiliated day in and day out on social media. Almost to a cruel level.
I got Mary Kay. She says nice things about Shedeur. She'll be joining us at around this time tomorrow at 8:20. Here's Mary Kay yesterday on Baskin and Phelps about the timeline for Shedeur as long as Dillon Gabriel.
They're not in a huge rush to drag Dillon out of there. Think about it this way. If you have a third-round pick and you want to see what he can do and you want to try to develop him, he has started 5 games. Why would you want him to only start 5 games and then have your 5th-round pick start the next 8 games? Why would you do that? You're going to want to see your 3rd-round pick start as many games as you can possibly get away with in terms of just development and maybe trying to get to winning and whatever else before you turn it over to your other rookie. So we'll have to see how it goes. Again, now you've got Deshaun Watson that's going to be factored into this potentially as they move forward. I would say that they'll give Dillon a number of more starts. Now, he even sounded after the game like he knows there's going to come a time when he won't be starting if they don't start winning, but I do think that they want to see him for the foreseeable future.
I don't disagree. Like Mary Kay makes several valid points in the clip on Baskin and Phelps. You can find that audio on 923thefan.com. Hopefully we'll get the same thing tomorrow. But let me tell you this. If that's the case, then I can't do another one of these things. If this is the way it is, then I don't care. Put Bailey Zappi in there. Fine. If Shedeur is not ready, I can't stomach another week of this. You can't. Well, he's in there before he's ready to play. Clearly, he's in there before he was ready to play. I was wrong. I thought that they were at the end of it with Joe Flacco. The offense sucks. The players around him, I think they try. I don't think that it's the right type of players around him anymore. Some of them have gotten too old. Some of them, it just doesn't matter. That's an Andrew Berry thing now. You got rid of Joe Flacco, so it's not like you can put Joe back out there and then maybe give Dillon Gabriel a breather. So if you don't want to go directly to Shedeur, fine. Put Bailey Zappi out there and give Dillon a breather. Because this is bad. There is such a thing as, well, you're going to give him all this time. There's such a thing as, you want to talk about ruining a guy, you could ruin his experience. You could ruin his play. He's gotten worse and worse and worse every week.
100%.
Where's the bounce back?
Even though he is a finalist for the AFC Rookie of the Week.
Which is a total disaster. What happened to the other rookies? There's no other offensive rookies? Can we go back and put Cam Scatabo on there?
Well, it's for AFC. We split it, right?
Whatever. 216-474-0092. But you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm not denying any of that. I've heard not a peep, nothing.
I just feel like something would slip out. People had noted, Denzel Ward before the season started, I think even during training camp, was on a podcast where he was like, oh, it's different coming out of his hands. But since then, we haven't seen or heard anything to that effect. And I know he's not getting first-team reps. He was getting that package at the end of practice, while Joe Flacco was there, and then Dillon Gabriel was getting reps, and then there was a package at the end of practice.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's been given a ton of opportunity. Don't get me wrong.
You're right.
But the whole thing that sticks with me is when guys talk about how you can't lie to a locker room. Man, the locker room would revolt. After seeing Dillon Gabriel the last how many weeks, they would revolt. We would be hearing it. We would see it. Because those guys don't want to go down on a sinking ship. They want to get out good tape, too. Jerry Jeudy wants to put out good tape. Okay, David Njoku, he doesn't know how long he's going to be in Cleveland. He wants to put out good tape.
I have no answer because I don't disagree with you. I have no answer. I want to see him very, very badly, but you're not wrong on anything you're saying. I hope that I can find something to dissuade my opinion from that, but I can't do any of that because I have no evidence to prove that you're wrong. 216-474-0092. All right, coming up, winning is not the word I would use for this. What is winning? I'll tell you about that coming up in 5, as well as watching college basketball last night might have made you feel a little bit better about the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'll explain why. Coming up at 8:42 on The Fan. Friends, Ken Carman here for Tom.
988.
All day long.
All day.
All the time.
At work.
923thefan.com and the Odyssey app.
Check it out.
We're going to go Surfside with the Cavs here in just a moment. Let me clarify something, by the way. Talking about Dylan Gabriel, I was like, well, we can't get Cam Scattaboo there. I assumed that I got no references on social media or anything. I assumed you guys knew I was joking. Our boss didn't know I was joking. He's like, and I go, yeah, I know, it was a joke. I would rather put Cam Scattaboo in there than Dylan Gabriel. It's an insult. About the Rookie of the Week, along with those other numbers, I go, you just needed to fill the 6 slots. By the way, wasn't it AFC? I knew he played in the NFC, and I also know that his ankle went one way, the rest of his leg went the other way, and he was looking down at it like, well, what do you want from me? Like, we didn't know this. Keith Roth over there, taking everything to heart. We good now? Thank God. All right, time to go Surfside with the Cavs. Brought to you by the fine folks at Surfside. It's a Cavs update brought to you by the fine folks at Surfside. I heard it's delicious, Surfside. Can I feel a little bit? It's not that I feel bad about their situation. I'm not worried. I know their defense has been not good. I know that the shooting has been not great. They didn't play very good down in Miami. However, can I say, maybe I feel a little bit okay that I know nobody's playing tonight. They're all out for the most part. I mean, Jalen Tyson is out. Donovan is out. Jared Allen is out, correct? Darius Garland's obviously out.
Tyson has a concussion or symptoms.
Do I feel a little bit better about it? Can I say because last night Donovan Mitchell went to Louisville and went to the Louisville-Kentucky game? It's like, okay, the regular season, this part of the regular season, not that big of a deal.
Well, I think it's just the fact that it's November 12th. They've had a very, very uneven start to the year. Nothing disastrous, although if the Garland injury was significant, that could be disastrous. But nothing that can't be fixed. They've tried a lot of different lineups. They are treating this almost like an extended preseason. It is early in the year for them to be kind of giving them a bye, like giving them time away from the team and allowing them, especially after they lost the first game. Like, if you just win the first game, I think everybody's like, whatever, you're in Miami twice, even though Miami is without their 2 best players, and you already lost to them once. You don't want to punt on another game just because that just can shift the mood around a basketball team pretty quickly.
Yeah. So you don't like this?
Think about it. Their whole staff is down in Miami. Like, they flew a lot of people down there.
So you don't like this decision to fly back?
I'd like to get some clarification on why that is, because there's a lot of they season ticket holders are down there. Like, this was like an important trip to them to spend some money following the Cavs, and if they're just going to go down there and punt on the second game, that's kind of surprising.
Well, it's still a trip to Miami.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think that people would rather be in Miami in February, to be honest, but you can't pick and choose exactly when you can go to Miami if you're in the NBA. I think that some of this is like, hey, you're still going to Miami. It's like, okay, you have a trip to Miami, that's fun. Like, if I was a season ticket holder, I'm having a trip to Miami, that's fun. I'm still watching the NBA, still getting to see that, still getting to see some of the other guys play. I don't know. I just don't think it's that big of a deal. And was he being honored yesterday, Donovan? Because he flew back, went to the Louisville game. That's a big game. Louisville, Kentucky. That's a big game, obviously. That's a rivalry game. I don't know if Donovan was being honored or anything like that. I wouldn't have minded if he wasn't being honored. I was saying is that it kind of, when Donovan speaks, we listen. When Donovan says, calm down, we calm down. Just by doing that, I was like, all right, the regular season isn't that big of a deal. It's kind of where I need it to be. Kind of a giant preseason for me right now.
Yeah, but that's also, I don't know if fans love that. I don't know if fans the ones that I'm not talking about,
they don't.
The casual fans, though, like, but the people that are watching night in and night out.
I'm going to watch tonight.
And now it's what's the NBA, what has been one of the stigmas this year on the NBA? It's like, I got to run around to find all the games. I got to have all the streaming services. And now you're telling me that you're punting on a game, which, of course, the NBA, you can win on a game that you punt if you just shoot well. Like, that doesn't necessarily matter.
Well, I think that they would look at it and go, wait a minute, didn't we think that the Jets were punting on the game on Sunday? They ended up beating us. Exactly. You shoot well, you can win a game. And it usually does happen at least once or probably a handful of times in the league. A team has a quote-unquote scheduled loss and goes out there and wins. They wake up on the right side of the bed and everything goes their way.
Yeah, it's just I think fans didn't think this would be a scheduled 2 losses when they didn't have their 2 best players.
No, probably not.
And they're big. They're like 7-point underdogs.
Why? Also, why do you think, and this is going to elongate the Cavs update brought to you by Surfside, but I'm going to do it anyway. Why was Nick and Jonathan so annoyed by the term South Beach flu yesterday? They didn't like so many references to the South Beach flu?
I think so, yeah. They had brought it up.
What's their problem with that calling it the South Beach flu? Is it like a giant excuse for the Cavs?
Do they think that you can't just attribute every loss in Miami to that?
They seem to lose in Miami during the regular season a whole bunch.
Can we stop tweeting when the team's in Miami? Because every time I see a tweet, hey, the team's in Miami for a couple nights, getting a couple nights in the warm weather.
Get that South Beach flu.
It's all I think about. I feel like it's a jinx going to Miami. Already very problematic.
There's 2 cities, though. That's it. It's Miami and it's Atlanta. When players go there, NBA teams, they're different.
Wait till they get to Vegas franchise.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? It's just the truth. Is that not just when the games are really mattering? Like the
thought
Cavs
has been that the teams now prepare for that. They prepare because of that's been the stigma of going down to Miami. It's almost become so cliche that when they go down there, they kind of make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, but wait a minute. No, I think they plan around it anymore.
So they just punt on the games in Miami?
No, not every game in Miami. I think there's different times where maybe you need it, but like, they do this in L.A., don't they? Don't we have that L.A. conversation every year? Well, they're spending 3 nights in L.A., and they got that day between when they're playing the Clippers and the Lakers. Like, we talk about this all the time when they go to some of these cities. Atlanta, we know why Atlanta's a pretty wild place. I think that, they think they plan around it going, okay, we take care of our business against Chicago on a Monday night, then we'll see what happens in Miami coming up on Wednesday night. I think that's the way a lot of teams spread. It's probably not the best way to go about it, but it's the way that I think is probably generally accepted, is it not?
I think it has been. The question is, are you just okay with that continuing to be the case?
They can blow off some steam.
Are we acting like teams can't do anything to win games in Miami now? Did Miami even have a great winning record at home?
Probably not.
So it's only the Cavs? None of the teams are susceptible
to this? I'm sure
you
would find other teams that do it. Maybe Miami's just the place that we've designated as like, hey, you guys want to go on the road and
even though Atlanta, there's so many markets in the NBA. New York.
Well, he mentions Jonathan just mentioned Atlanta.
You can have fun in a ton of the markets.
How much fun can you have in New York? I think anybody can have fun in New York in any weather, but I think it's a lot easier to have fun in Miami at any time than it is in New York in the middle of February.
The Cavs, real quick, just one thought that I'm wondering if people are monitoring.
Please.
So the Cavs are averaging 47 threes a night. They took 3rd all-time record. 65 attempts in that loss to Miami. 32 between Sam Merrill and Donovan Mitchell alone, and neither, really shot it all that well. So they are 3 ahead of the Boston Celtics. We know that's been their mantra forever. They're 15th in the league in 3-point shooting percentage. Mm-hmm. Are we okay if this is going to be the Cavs all year? They're just going to take the most threes, and we'll just play the numbers on that? Because I'm telling you,
no one's going to be okay.
I think that's why. That's a big reason why I think the Boston Celtics last year were down 3-1 when Jason Tatum went out with an injury against the Knicks. They just shot too many threes. Like, I don't think the Cavs are good. They have a lot of talent. Why does it need to be just pulling up and shooting threes?
Is it just to give guys the confidence to shoot threes, to stretch out the floor? Because I think that, again, this year we're going to have to, now more than ever, understand that they got to work on things during the regular season. It's not just go out and win a bunch of games and it's going to carry on into there's a ramp-up period and we're going to have to hit that. We might actually have to flip the switch on the Cavs at some point this year. But I think there's going to be a lot of working on things, and maybe they're in there working on threes right now and getting guys able to shoot. I wish more of that was Evan Mobley, but we've talked about that part to death. Coming up in a little bit, maybe the worst trade ever that's not involving Deshaun Watson. Does it actually override the Deshaun Watson trade? But I think I'm being too mean to him, and I feel terrible about it. Who's him? I'll tell you in 5 on the Fan.
Anthony Lima for QC Kinetics, where if you haven't made the decision yet here before the end of the year, you still have time to get a handle on your pain and get it solved once and for all, and go with the leaders in regenerative non-surgical pain relief. That's QC Kinetics, because they can do exactly what needs to be done to help you restore and repair damaged joint tissue. And QC Kinetics does it better than anybody else here in Northeast Ohio, with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. We're talking hundreds of board-certified QC Kinetics providers have treated tens of thousands of satisfied patients all over America. And I'm one of those success stories. I'm one of a growing percentage, 97% here in Northeast Ohio.
In fact, the top 5 teams, the same as last week. College football last night, Kent State beat Akron in overtime, 42-35. With that, the Golden Flashes claimed the wagon wheel. Don't miss the Browns preview show tonight at 7 o'clock right here on 92.3 The Fan. From the University Hospital Sports Desk, I'm Jeff Thomas.
Listen to 92.3 The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn app.
Real quick, before you get into this, can you read that tweet you just got again? I hope I didn't throw you off by there. Before you get into what the numbers you have that might make me feel like a jerk, can you read that right now, right off the tippy top?
From Nick Wilson, what he had just responded?
This is what Nick wrote.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know. You said Nick. I didn't know it was Nick Wilson.
Responded.
Please, go right on ahead.
Hasn't Mary Kay said repeatedly how good Shedeur Sanders has looked at practice?
That's what I said.
Yeah, and I said, yeah, Ken said that. She has. She's also said they restrict heavily what the reporters are able to see. And so I asked in return, wouldn't the players who are there every day, wouldn't they do everything they could, move heaven and earth to get the word out that, oh my God, this coaching staff is failing everybody. They're playing the wrong guy.
Guys,
you can't lie to a locker room.
I'm not lying to myself. I'm not lying to myself on this. We've seen this happen before with other quarterbacks. We saw this happen. I mean, the stuff about Johnny got brought out after he had played where he wasn't taken seriously. I was like, where do you guys think we get this from? Yeah, there's agents. There are definitely agents that are involved. But, I mean, the players say it themselves. They whisper it themselves. We've done this with other quarterback controversies and things of that nature. Anthony's right. You're right. I brought that up. We played the Mary Kay sound. But Mary Kay has admitted, like, there's only so much that she gets to see, but usually there's a leak. There hasn't been a leak just yet. I wish there was. Anything that's leaked is how behind he is. God, I wish it was different.
I know.
Because you're going to read these numbers, and when you read these numbers, I started laughing in your face.
All right, this from good Browns follow on Twitter. Quincy Carrier says, first 5 starts for NFL quarterbacks. He has Drake May, 932 yards, 7 touchdowns, 5 picks. Jared Allen, 958, 2 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Baker Mayfield, 8 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 1,090 yards. Dylan Gabriel, 850, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Then he has the average yards per attempt. Dylan's is like the shortest in the NFL this year, or somewhere around there. Still kind of right around where everybody else is. Allen was 4.6. I mean, that's incredible. Yeah. The completion percentage, Allen, 55%. Dylan Gabriel, 58%. Okay, and Dylan Gabriel, Drake May, 65.5%. Whatever. The whole point he's making is, yes, Gabriel's been abysmal, but other quarterbacks have been abysmal too. Why are we acting like this is the worst of all time when a lot of quarterbacks struggle at the start? They're not all going to be Jaden Daniels, C.J. Stroud. You know, how many quarterbacks have we had? Even Jordan Love played well right away after sitting, but played well right away. A bunch of quarterbacks in recent years have spoiled all of us by how they played right off the bat.
You asked me, are we being too hard on Dylan Gabriel?
It's just because I've been very hard. You've been very hard. We've all said the same thing. He doesn't look like an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, I've been too hard on Dylan Gabriel, but I should be harder on the Browns. I should be harder on who has him out there. I should be harder on why he was starting too soon. Again, I'm wrong. I was wrong about Joe. It looked like Joe wasn't seeing the field. I don't care what anybody says. Joe wasn't seeing the field. I
meant Josh Allen. That was bothering me.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, Joe Flacco was not seeing the field when he was with the Browns. So you could blame the offense. They got Tommy Rees calling the plays. I don't know. Maybe if Joe Flacco was running the defense, maybe it'd look better with Tommy Rees. Who the hell knows? It's not an investigation we need to really get into right now. But Dylan Gabriel is definitely in over his head. He's in over his head. But
save
because
your
he's
jokes.
out there,
I know everything's over his head.
Okay, fine. But because he's out there, how are we forced to not be mean to him? Because it's something we don't want to see. We don't want to see him out there. I got mad at the whole situation on Sunday. Watching him tap his chest is my fault. I'm going, yeah, you threw the damn ball 10 feet over Malachi Corley's head.
Yeah, Kenny, that's the thing. You mentioned that
and
throw.
Somebody goes, Ken, it's a screen. Are you making a big deal? I go, they never score points. I mean, it's blood from a stone when they score points, and there was a wide open lane. Malachi Corley made a big deal about it. Kevin made a big deal about it. Dylan made a big deal about it. You know why? Because they can't get on the scoreboard.
Kenny,
so when you have a wide open lane, that's a possibility. Yeah, you're going to make a big deal about that.
That's the thing about Dylan Gabriel. The bad is as bad as I've ever seen.
when you have any hope
he has
for
some
points.
good, like any quarterback. I mean, you can watch all the bad quarterbacks in the league. They complete passes. They don't just go out there and go.
You can't even get explosive plays, let alone points.
But it's the amount of easy stuff that he's missing. And this will sound here's an excuse for Kevin Stefanski. It'll sound like it. But people that keep watching the tape, they're like, guys are open. There's a guy open. There's on that fourth down. There's two guys open. He needs to hit that. He's way late in seeing that. Terrible. Even that Jerry Jeudy had a crosser on a pick play that he was so late. It was a big conversion. So late in getting him the football. Like he was open immediately. You're not giving him a chance.
And the downfield throw, what'd you call the downfield throws, Kins?
Hot air balloons. Oh. No, what Lima called them. Lima had the thing about
it. Golf? Yes. And that was the touchdown.
It's like Mary Poppins leaving the house. Off she goes. Sherry Bobbins, if you're a Simpsons fan. I'm not trying to be mean to him. Like, it's easy to make jokes about the quarterback out there. It's like, okay, who put him out there? And who's the other guy's not ready to go, so who's responsible for all this? Yeah. Oh, I'm supposed to keep them all together just because, what? They had one good draft this last year? Carson Schwarzenegger's a dog. Got him. All right. You found him. I'm glad I got something out of you. 216-474-0092. I'm not trying to be mean. I have to be mean towards Dylan Gabriel because that's what he sees out there. That's what we see out there in the field. I'm really trying to hold back as best I can. I'm not making height jokes. I'm not making any of the other jokes that but it does help me get through the game, knowing that I don't think they have a chance in hell on Sunday with him playing quarterback. He had 2 weeks to get ready for the Jets. He looked even more miserable than he's ever looked. 2 weeks to get ready for the Jets. Let's see how he plays after a bad outing. Some played worse. It's hard to do. And when I say explosive plays like 16 yards, we can barely get not even a handful. Because it's not hard. It's easy to defend when the quarterback's afraid to throw it. It's easy to defend. Like his whole thing is, I'm telling you, I think he's going out there saying, just don't turn the ball over. Just don't turn the ball over. Just don't turn the ball over. So it's easier for him to put his head down and run himself into a sack than it is for him to put the ball in the air and risk a turnover. And then when he does just say bleep it, it ends up being, as they said, a hot air balloon. Like the one that got picked off against New England. How am I not supposed to comment on that? I feel bad in some way because, hell, I thought he could have been a career backup. At this rate, he ain't going to be a career backup.
No.
I'm serious. If Shedeur isn't ready, then you need to consider Bailey Zappi here. If you guys are so convinced, I'm talking to the Browns here. If you guys are so convinced that Shedeur isn't ready, fine. Beat me over the head with it then, but fine. Then put in Bailey Zappi. Dylan Gabriel needs to stand on the sidelines, catch his breath, look at what's going on, and then maybe we can revisit this. Because this is terrible, and it ain't making him any better. This going out there and getting your head slammed in a car door every Sunday is not making your situation any better. It's not toughening him up. It's not making him more confident. I'll tell you another situation I was wrong. The only chance that he could have been more confident was him taking the knees at the end of the Dolphins game. You guys were totally right about that. I stood when you said that about what's like, well, you want him to finish his first win in the NFL. I went, you know what? You're right. I'm wrong. That was silly of me. I stand down. You win that argument. That was the only thing close to making him better. But again, I had buddies texting me. I had many buddies texting me, it's time to go down the field. We got him beat down. I'm like, no. Because he's clearly remembering bad throws, bad reads, bad moves, whatever the 2 interceptions he's thrown. He's remembering all that before anything good. Because he hasn't been able to do anything good. And you could tell there's so much pressure he's putting on himself.
Yeah, I would say the only thing
he can't even process.
In his defense, the only better thing I saw last week was that he took off and ran with a little more confidence. Which I was like, where's that been?
Yeah.
The first 3 or 4 weeks. Normally, that's a default setting for young quarterbacks.
We got one guy
that they'll go get those yards that are available. He wasn't even doing that. He was just like throwing the ball wildly to the wrong place or out of bounds.
216-474-0092. David in Dallas, Texas. You're next up on the Fan. Hello.
Yes, how you guys doing this morning?
We're doing wonderful, David. You can tell by our voices. Go right on ahead.
Oh, I definitely can. I just want to debunk this situation of Shedeur Sanders not ready. Come on, guys. If the only reason,
Well, come on, guys, is not the way to start debunking an argument here. Go ahead.
You got to listen to me.
All right.
The only reason people like Anthony Lima has a narrative-based agenda against Shedeur Sanders is because he got his feelings hurt on social media by Shedeur fans. Now,
not in the least. I welcome. No, that's not true. I haven't got my feelings hurt. I welcome the stupidity that you humorless morons continue to bring every single day. Can you guys get a sense of humor? Can you guys find some sense of humor in this? It's just football, guys. It's just name calling. You want to talk about name calling? Go look at the responses that I've been getting and ask me and tell me who has defaulted to name calling. So go ahead, debunk away. Tell me the debunking. Where's the locker room revolt that they're playing the wrong guy? Where is it? Tell me.
Listen to me.
Where is
it?
The
locker room.
Where is it?
If players in the locker room comes out and shows mutiny against their head coach and their starting quarterback, you will call that franchise a dumpster fire, right or wrong?
This is a dumpster fire anyway, but it happened with Hoyer and Manziel. You're not from here. You don't remember it. It happened. It happened. Hold on. It happened with Manziel and Hoyer. They all said the wrong guy was playing. They all came out. Where is it now? Where is it now?
So listen.
Where is it?
You're not going to come out against your starting quarterback or
yes,
your
they
head
would.
coach.
A guy who's one of the worst in recent history. Yes, they would. Yes, they would.
No, you're not.
David, guys who are having their careers altered, guys that are going to be free agents, you're telling me they're going to sit idly by, not say a word why the Browns are sabotaging the quarterback that should be playing? Can't you just admit he's not ready? David, can't you admit it?
Can I tell you why?
You can't admit it.
Can I tell you why?
You can't do it.
Can I tell you why?
You won't do it.
Why they won't come out a mutiny? Because they know the quarterback that is in waiting will eventually get on the field. And when he gets on the field, they have seen
once the
what
season's over. Once they're eliminated from anything, that's when it's going to happen.
It doesn't matter.
Boy, that's a vote of confidence for your guy. Hey, we're going to wait till our season is done, and we're all just playing to put stuff on tape.
Let me get to my second
Why
point.
would they wait?
You wait. Now, can I get to my second point?
Sure.
Now,
you're 0 for 1.
Carrier and all the other quarterbacks that y'all talk about have started their careers trash and, it's Drake May. I didn't seen Brett Favre. I didn't seen Peyton Manning. Now, check this out. Which one of those quarterbacks are you bypassing to take Dylan Gabriel? Neither one.
None of them.
So let's kill that argument. Okay, now
but they bypassed your guy to take Dylan Gabriel 2 rounds earlier.
Only 6 teams needed a franchise quarterback in this draft. You keep saying 32. The Cleveland Browns, Tennessee Titans, New Orleans Saints, Pittsburgh Steelers. These are the guys that needed quarterbacks.
And you think franchise quarterbacks go in the 5th round, typically?
Listen to me. Now let me get to the 26th draft that you guys said there was all world and why Andrew Berry is a genius. The 26th, when he drafted this year, he drafted 2 running backs, Thunder and Lightning. He drafted a great tight end. He drafted a great middle linebacker, and he drafted an okay defensive lineman. What he didn't draft, and what y'all always complain about, he didn't get receivers. He didn't get O-linemen. Why? Because he understood Kevin Stefanski wanted Dylan Gabriel, and he knew Dylan Gabriel wasn't it. So what did he do? And what the NFL allowed him to do? He waited to the 5th round, drafted Shedeur Sanders, and when now what's highly toutable in the 26th draft? Offensive linemen and receivers. He has let Kevin Stefanski hang himself by playing Dylan Gabriel this long. He traded away Joe Flacco because he knew Kevin Stefanski was not going to let Dylan.
So David, you started out. Thank you. Nice back and forth, David.
We go now.
You started the conversation with saying that nobody's going to talk up. There's not going to be a revolt. That would be a dysfunctional organization. You ended the call with point number 2 being, well, they're letting the coach hang himself by drafting in the 3rd round a quarterback ahead of the quarterback in the 5th round, which would, of course, be the most dysfunctional thing you could ever do as an organization. What sense would that make?
I don't know.
Somebody tell me. If you have an answer, I'll be waiting. 45 more minutes.
It turned into a pro Andrew Berry call at the end.
I didn't expect that.
Which is not where I thought we'd be in life right now.
I don't understand the Samson pick. The Thunder and Lightning thing, You took one running back. You didn't need to take.
You got to let it thunder more than 9 times a game, too.
That's true.
All right. Are we being too hard on Dylan Gabriel was the original question.
Apparently.
And I said yes, because he's being put in a position where we have to be hard on him. I'm getting people saying absolutely. Ken Carman, Anthony Lima. Take us with you to work on the free Odyssey app.
XTEND.
football playoff rankings. In fact, the top 5 teams staying the same as last week. College football last night, Kent State beat Akron 42-35 in overtime. With that, the Golden Flashes get the wagon wheel. Don't miss the Browns preview show tonight, 7 o'clock, right here on 92.3 The Fan. From the University Hospital Sports Desk, I'm Jeff Thomas.
I was going to get to Nico Harrison. Know if we're going to be able to. Insanity. Watch us on YouTube. YouTube Live, 92.3 The Fan on YouTube Live. Wild calls this morning. Wild stuff going on this morning. This is not a Dylan Gabriel versus Shedeur Sanders argument. This is whether or not you think that the Browns are holding him back and whether or not you agree that the Browns are holding him back. And by the way, the stuff about Dylan Gabriel, I'm absolutely being not fair to Dylan Gabriel. I'm being hard on Dylan Gabriel because he's the guy they keep rolling out there. He's not ready. Scott, on an email, back off your attacks on Gabriel. It's getting personal at small market. I said, if you have then he mentions Lima about being small. Lima's 5'10".
5'11".
5'11".
What, am I shrinking already?
Lima's
Maybe
not a
in the
small
next 10
person.
years.
He's small sitting next to me, but Lima's not a small guy. But I said very succinctly, and you might have an email coming to you. I said, if you got a problem with Lima, you got to email him. Thank you very much for listening.
By the way, lats were looking good yesterday in the weight room. Getting back finally. Finally, the kids were holding me back.
Congratulations on all your success.
For 2 years.
Are you
2.5 years.
Are you tanning?
No. Then you'll know. Then you'll know I'll have wandering eyes once the tanning starts.
That was my favorite thing. We used to know.
I was wondering, what could that possibly be?
We used to know a 60-year-old guy, and he goes, he works out and he tans. What do you think he's trying to do? I went, oh. I didn't realize that. Oh. Does the missus know? And he goes, I don't know if she knows, and he probably doesn't care. Lima knows people very, very, very well. All right. I think we're forced to be hard on Dylan Gabriel. He's the guy that's out there when we see him, we're watching on TV. And he's put in an impossible position. They're not good. He can't get over them. He can't get them past that wall. He can't get them to carry them forward. I mean, it would take a Herculean effort. Like, the offense isn't good. The offensive line is bad. You got 3 pieces there. You need 5. Jack Conklin's chasing people around. He ain't got it anymore. Your left tackle situation, that's a revolving door. Your interior, I'd like to probably sign Wyatt Teller to an extension because that at least makes it a little bit easier to replace the other pieces. I think Luke Whippler's going to take over probably as a center. You know, he might have to take over as a guard. You might have to sign Ethan Posick to an extension because Luke Whippler has played a little bit at that guard spot, so you might need Ethan Posick to do that because I think Joel Bitonio is going to retire after this year. Most people think Joel Bitonio is going to retire after this year. So you're putting Dylan Gabriel in really a disadvantage here. This whole thing has been set up badly. And you're the ones who deal with it. Dylan Gabriel might pay with his career for crying out loud, but you guys are the ones paying for it. None of it's sensical. And when it gets to Shedeur, I know you're having it out with Nick online, so I hope he repays the favor during his show. I know you're having it out with Nick online. Like, hey, man, I would, like, going back to the last caller, I would love to fight you about the Shedeur Sanders stuff. I can't. I know from experience over the last 14 years. I know that there are Shedeur fans just listening, just getting into it. This is old hat. Quarterback stuff is old hat for us. Hell, half you guys by this age are born into it now. It's been going on since 99. So we all know what's going on or what's gone on here before, and you go back from your previous history. Players do that. And I let you talk to, I'll say this about the last caller, and we'll get to the other callers. When you say, well, players aren't going to out and out demand that another guy plays, they don't want to rock that boat. Of course. But you know damn well. Sources tell us this. Sources. What do you think the sources are? And if the sources are the agent, who's telling the agents? We're hearing none of that yet.
Nope.
I wish we were. Guys, I wish we were. I really wish we were. I would love to stand here and go, His teammates are saying how much better he is. We got unnamed sources saying how much better he is. What's holding them back? Why isn't he playing? Why isn't a guy who was projected to go in the top 5 not playing? Answer me that. Riddle me that. Why is he not playing? He needs to be out there. Why is he not playing? I'm tired of watching this offense struggle. I'm tired of watching this guy be shoved right down to the ground on every single play. I'm tired of him looking away from wide receivers. I'm tired of him being afraid to throw the football down the field. Why isn't he playing? Why is it? I'm not hearing anything about it. Everybody says he looks good in the 15 minutes of open practice that you get, but I'm hearing nothing about the offense. Please, I'm begging you, give me something to latch on to.
And there's nothing like wait till you see what it's going to be when he takes over.
Guys, I've watched 4 weeks. Is it 4 or 5 games? 5 games. I watched 5 games of this. You think I wouldn't take that and run as fast and as loud as I possibly could? That Shedeur Sanders was doing very, very well in practice, and that his teammates or unnamed sources would rather have him out there in the field than Dylan Gabriel? I'd scream from the rooftops.
Do you don't think Josina Anderson would have already put out a 3,000-worded confusing tweet that Shedeur is turning heads and the players are ready to back him into war?
Please.
I haven't seen heard that.
I need it like air. I need it like air because I need to see him before it's all said and done this year. I want to see him way before. I do not want to see Bailey Zappi. I don't want to see Bailey Zappi. My whole point of Bailey Zappi is that if you're going to if you really don't believe that Shedeur is there, I'm talking to the Browns, if you really don't believe Shedeur is ready to go, then you're going to have to put Bailey Zappi in there because this is getting to a point that's untenable. Just untenable. I mean, I got nothing personal against Dylan Gabriel for crying out loud. I think some of you guys got something personal against Shedeur Sanders, so you've become some sort of defender of Dylan Gabriel when you guys know damn well what you're watching
which is bizarre.
Is terrible. What you're watching is terrible. Either he's bad or they're putting him in a bad position. Either way, he ain't ready, and it's got to stop. It was the Jets on Sunday for crying out loud.
They lost to the Jets.
Scott in Cleveland, hello.
Ken, I love you. Take a breath. We're going to woosah here for a minute, my man.
What's going on?
Anthony, we as Browns fans have been accustomed to this heartache and heartbreak since '99, my brother. I'm telling you right now, the Browns would perform better with you at left tackle or right tackle on any given Sunday, Thursday, or Monday. It doesn't matter. You're better than Cam Robinson out there. Jack Conklin, you just spoke about it, running around chasing guys. Listen, we as I can't say we because I'm not part of the organization. So
you feel like you're part of the organization. You're a fan. You can say we. Come on, let's not get crazy.
Okay, we're invested in this, man, right?
Of course you are, yes.
And we've seen it over and over. The only quarterback Andrew Berry has drafted before these two is DTR. And what did we do with him? We threw him in before he was ready. We have a consistent problem of putting these guys in before they're ready, and we did not do anything to protect Flacco. We didn't do anything to protect Gabriel. Now, listen, my immediate approach to your call screener was that you're wrong, right? But listen, let's take a step back because you have touched on this now so much. Gabriel doesn't have the time to even let a route manifest. He doesn't have that time. Anthony, you spoke about how his confidence looked better to run the damn ball. You got to run the ball because you ain't got time to throw a deep route. We can't hit these deep throws. But I also want to say this in finishing. I pray that we don't start Shedeur, and here is why. I think Barry did a good job with this last draft. Guys, we threw 3 years away with Deshaun. Let's face it. We gave up years of picks. We failed. Okay, that was a swing and a miss, like Haslam said. But I think, and as hard as it is, we've got to give this regime one more year. You got to let them come back next year because I think you've got to literally take both first-round picks. I don't care. Get the best tackles you can get. If you've got Zach Zinner, who's been not dressing, that can play center, which I've heard talks that he might be a better center in this type of offense than a guard.
I don't know where we can put Zach Zinner anywhere. I mean, you can't even keep him active. Like, I don't know what's going on there. I can't. I don't even want to speculate. I have no idea what's going on.
Fair enough. I think we've got to give them one more year, and my hopes are that we do something that the Browns have never done, Ken. Let a quarterback sit for the entire year. Let the game maybe slow down. I don't think the game is too big for Gabriel, but I don't think he's big enough for the game. That's all I've got to say. Let Shedeur sit. Let him come in next year. Maybe we draft a quarterback next year.
But we've only taken DTR in the 5th round, Shador in the 5th, Gabriel in the 3rd under Andrew Berry. Give these guys one more year. This is heartbreak right now. It is. We wasted youth in Chubb. We wasted youth in Denzel. We've wasted youth in a lot of these players. JOK, who's hurt. Let's hope he can come back with Schlesinger. But I do think we have the makings of a team. And Sunday we didn't lose because of Gabriel. We lost because of special teams. Gabriel's just maybe not big enough for the game, but I don't think the game's too big enough.
Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point, Scott. Thank you very much for the call. I mean, I think big picture, it's like, well, you can't do anything without a quarterback, but you're right. Special teams was garbage. Great point. Thank you very much for the call, Scott. Yes, Owen.
Well, that doesn't take away. There was a lot of things that went wrong against the Jets on Sunday.
Yeah.
But he's right. Special teams put them in a hole, but it doesn't take away from Dylan not being able to get them out of a hole at all.
And the Jets defense is so bad. It is so
their top pass
bad.
rusher and their top secondary player.
And they were bad with those guys.
Yes. You are right. You are right. And we thought, Will McDonald just breezing by people when we were like, hey, man, you should be able to run the ball. They're kind of thin. I mean, you got Myles Garrett is Myles Garrett, but he weighs 280 pounds, and you got 245 on the other side with the New York Jets. You figured, we should be able to kind of mow him down on the ground. No, you weren't able to do that because the offensive line isn't that great. But no, Scott's right. Like, that loss in particular is total team. But if we're talking big picture stuff, it's always going to start and finish with a quarterback. But Scott has his eyes right there. It's true. Like, I don't want the arguments. It's what we talk about because we've been looking for one for 40 years now. I mean, frankly, it's true. 35 at least. Your special teams is garbage. Bubba Ventrone deserves every single piece of criticism that's thrown at him. They've been bad all year. And to get ready for an opponent for 2 weeks and have that happen to you is unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. That's right. Curtis in Omaha, Nebraska. You're next up on the fan.
Yeah, I'm with Scott, that last caller, about, the one thing we haven't done is let someone sit a whole year. And I'm all in favor of, as soon as he can get out there, letting Deshaun Watson finish out as much of the rest of this season as possible.
You're just trying to get me mad. You're just trying to get me mad, Curtis.
I'm not trying to get you mad. I agree with you that, nothing good will come out of starting Deshaun Watson, but nothing good comes out of starting anyone else either. Because, there was that theory that, I'm totally drawing a blank. Back in '99, Tim Couch, right, could have been good, except he got destroyed by the team around him. Mm-hmm. That's what we're seeing by Dylan Gabriel. This team is costing him his pension if he's supposed to be a career backup. And it's not going to do it's not going to do Shador Sanders any favors either. I would love to have ridden out the season with Kenny Pickett or Joe Flacco, because we're not going to lose anything by letting them guys go down with this Edmund Fitzgerald. But so let Deshaun do it. Let him take the blows. I'll
that's
the best way to make the season forgettable.
You do listen, don't you, Curtis? Damn you. Okay.
What do I do? I guess I'm a bad boy.
Oh, you're fine.
You made me do this, you bitch.
Fine. That's enough.
I got a drop for you here, Curtis.
Oh, my God in heaven. Sweet chin music. It is a do it.
The sitting a whole thing, though?
No.
And that means also bypassing a quarterback with both of your first round picks next year. That to me would make the Browns look even worse. Like a 5th round pick, you're saving. You're giving a
I'm getting crazy again. I told you I'm getting crazy again.
You don't stash 5th round picks to be your guaranteed starter.
I want to see Shador.
This is something you do with pick 26 when you had a guy who's been a 12-year starter. And
this is why.
Guys, you don't do it
why I want to see
for a guy nobody wanted.
I'll say this real quick here. Let me say this real quick to you guys, and this is going to be a very unpopular thing to say. What does the NFL think of Shador Sanders? Then not much, right?
Not much.
Okay. Do you think that they're going to make a house cleaning at the end of this year?
I think they should.
Okay. Do you think they will?
I don't know.
What's your chances? I think the chances
honestly,
are high.
I don't know.
I mean, we're not even at Thanksgiving yet, and we're at each other's throats here. I think they'll probably make a house cleaning at the end of the year. Oh, and you would probably agree with that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so if they make a house cleaning at the end of the year, we have to see Shador Sanders for some period of time, of decent time, before the end of the year. Because I hate to break it to you guys, if he don't play, he ain't going to be on this roster next year. They're going to bring in new people. The NFL clearly does not think much of him. He is gone. He is gone because they're going to go and they're going to get, hopefully they'll get a veteran, and then they're going to go get a rookie, and they are not going to want him on their roster.
No.
It's going to be a new way of thinking. I guarantee you. As unfair and as terrible as that is, I can only tell you guys the truth. You know I'm telling you the truth. If they clean house, he is not going to be on this roster next year, and we will have never seen him get a chance with the Cleveland Browns. If this whole year is about evaluating quarterbacks, as warped as a way as they've done it, he's got to play before